Although don't do the graphic.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, wow. Blimey. Bam.
Ah.
Happy Christmas, Ellie Mae O'Hagan.
Merry Christmas, Owen Jones.
You're looking pretty sexy. Don't mind me saying. Is that
I'm wearing flip-flops and tracksuit bottoms on the bottom half.
Ooh.
So I am enjoying this new era of like only your top half has to be respectable. I feel like
I wouldn't overdo it, Ellie. Questionable how respectable you're currently looking, let's be honest. Right, let's just kick off before we bring in the guests, because we need to explain what we're doing to people, because some people are like, what are you doing? So we're doing this charity live stream in support of the Campaign Against Living Miserably, who are an anti-suicide charity, and the biggest killer of men under 45 is suicide. And this year has been pretty tough for everyone, but particularly those with mental distress. So if you want to donate, please give whatever you can. So there's loads of ways you can do it. If you can see that little thing in the corner, that little graphic there, if you just put your phone like that, it'll take above you. There.
It's really hard to do because everything's reversed. So it's like, it's like a mirror. Anyway.
It's complicated, but if you do that, it'll take you there, and just donate whatever you can. All the link is, if you're on YouTube, the link's there. If you're on Twitter, the link's there. Just donate whatever you can. We'll hassle you. Right, we've got some amazing guests. I think we should just kick off with the guests.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why not?
So let's bring in Mark.
Are we allowed to swear on this, by the way?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe don't overdo.
Let's see what happens.
Happy Christmas, Stevie and Mark.
Happy Christmas.
Hello, happy Christmas.
And I'm particularly festive because I've got an entirely undecorated tree there. It could just be any normal tree that's happened to go, because there's so much amp there. A tree has emerged on the mantelpiece.
Why haven't you made the effort, Mark? Is what I'm not to berate you as soon as you've come in to do a charity live stream in support of a very valuable cause. But why not make the effort with your tree? I've made the effort. Ellie's made the effort. Stevie hasn't either. So
I've got a paper chain.
That's even worse than my thing. That could have just been there from when you moved in 8 years ago.
Yeah, when I was a child, age 12, I saved it for my birthday party.
I don't know why I didn't make the effort, and now this is the most chastised I have ever felt on a charity event.
My
tree is decomposing, to be fair, because we did the whole get a tree really early because the year's really miserable and there was nothing really else to do because we're in this massive catastrophe, and now it's basically just decomposing. It's just gone all yellow.
It looks like you're on a fake background, Owen. The lighting is too good.
Yeah,
I had a tree this year to make up for that. My tree last year, I only got rid of it at the end of March. I thought it's looking sweet. I'm going to keep it, and I thought, I wonder if you can sort of keep it the whole year, and that would be a record possibly.
Well, my mum always buys trees with in a pot with roots because she feels sad about the idea of killing trees. So my parents' back garden is now like a pine forest, a very small pine forest, because of all of the Christmas trees of yore are all in the garden.
You can rent a tree now, can't you? So you kind of get a tree and then it's got a root and you water it and then you give it back and then it gets replanted, which I thought was so nice. I haven't done that, but I thought it was really nice.
The thought was there.
Yeah, could be bothered.
Should we start then with the happiest moments? Who's going to kick off? Oh, no, so you've got to choose. Either or a combination thereof. Happy is moments of 2010, or spoiled for choice there, aren't we? Proudest moments, most embarrassing, or just silly moments. Who wants to kick off? You can do as many or as few as you want. We'll do one at least, obviously.
Well, the year started with a very happy moment for me on New Year's Day, because this is the sort of thing that makes my world. So on New Year's Day, I happened to be in Weston-super-Mare. And I had to go and I was writing an article that day. So I went into this news agent, and it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. And there was a woman there who must have been about 19, 20, I would have thought, working in the shop. And I didn't catch any of the conversation except this last little moment. She had a friend there with her. And all I heard this woman say as I went in to get the newspapers, she just went, and then right on the stroke of midnight, just as the fireworks were going off, he proposed to me. I said, well, you've got to get divorced first, you fucking muppet. And
Oh my
And that
God.
was sort of like a few hours into 2020, and I thought that's brilliant. I was so happy, and I thought this is going to be a brilliant year.
Yeah.
I like the way Mark's also answered our swearing policy as well, unilaterally.
I'm
yeah.
only joking, and it
Swear
wouldn't have
away.
been fair on the Western Supermare lady if I'd been if I'd altered her words. So, and I don't know, because I think that's sort of, in a way, that's my world, is sort of listening to these things and putting them in some sort of context. And then sort of very frustrating thing for me, because I sort of every year do this program where I go around the towns and do a show about the towns and stuff. And then I just wasn't able to do it. And I really, really missed it. And in some ways, like the odd moments of being able to still do that were my favourite moments, really. And we did one in Brighton, which we had to do it on the beach, talking about Brighton. And it was just like the people who put in this effort to build this stage and the lights and everything so it all complied with the regulations. And it was just so brilliant. No one's making any money out of it. They've just done it because they just wanted to be able to keep entertainment going in the city. And it was so, I don't know, just something so brilliant about it. And I had to get up there in front of like about 70 people just dotted over this vast area. It was very, very difficult to do. It was very bright, and there was a zip wire going ahead of me that was sort of, you could hear, and you can hear it on the recording. And then every sort of minute or so, this waft of extremely strong skunk sort of drifted across everybody. And Caroline Lucas was there and got up, and everybody cheered and stuff. And there was just something so sort of brilliant and defiant about it. And I did so that, and a few days later, I did the only other one I was allowed to record in Stratford-upon-Avon, in a field. Right, we had to do it to comply with the regulations. We had to make it in a field, and there was 38 people in this massive field. So it was so hard to do this thing with people just dotted about and outside. And at one point, I thought, "Oh, this is going all right." And my favourite joke in the whole recording, just as I got to the punchline, these geese went overhead and went ah, much louder. and completely ruined it. And I thought there was something brilliant about that. And I was quite pleased, because I did say, "Oh, if I'd thought about it, then I'd have brought a gun and shot all them geese. Then we could have called it a shooting party and we could have had 500 people here." So it was worth it for that.
Stevie,
That's lovely.
Stevie, I mean, they don't have to be geese related.
No, I don't have any geese related. I don't. Also, I've gone for like embarrassing things rather than happiness, because I don't really have any happiness. No, I do. But I couldn't. I find it a lot easier thinking of like times when I felt sick with just horrific than joy. I don't know what else says about me. The first thing is it's the worst thing, and I did it about, I'd say, 3 days ago, and I actually haven't even looked at it yet, because I found it so funny when I did it, and then immediately started crying. It was like I was having a full gamut of human emotion. There's like very cliched things about how, like, when life's going badly, when things are hard, you cut your own fringe. That's like a real cliche thing. You see it a lot on like Twitter. So it's like, yes, okay, fine. I managed like the whole time, the whole of first lockdown, the whole of like that weird bit where no one knew what was happening, but I seemed to be in a park a lot. And then like the second lockdown. And then when we found out that I wasn't going home for Christmas, I did this. Oh, I can't stand it. I look like Garth from Wayne's World. I've not seen it. That is so much worse than I thought it was. Hang on a minute. It goes up. What's that? Anyway, so I cried like that. That's sort of the vibe. That's kind of what I'm. Anyway, fine.
Garth is hot.
Yeah, it's like with the glasses as well, and like you can't. I just also as well. Oh my god, it's so much worse than I thought. Anyway, when I did it. We were watching like the countdown of like the chart countdown on MTV or something, and Wizard were doing it. I look like all of the members of Wizard from like the 70s. Anyway, I think that's the most embarrassing thing. The other thing I did was I got quite into like home workouts. I got quite into. I just sort of like did a few, but I've got like a kitchenette, so I had to like squeeze myself between the back of the sofa and the fridge, and so whenever I do it, like all of the cutlery and all of the crockery like rattling. And I was wearing, which actually quite good. I was wearing like a tracksuit, no pants, sorry, but it was, you know. Anyway, did a burpee and my trousers fell down, and I mooned a family across the. Yeah, that was the second. I mean, I need to put this back. Where I've lost my clips.
He's lost the clips.
Right, well that's that. But yeah, oh my god, sorry, I can see myself, and I honestly am shaking by how terrible. That's good though. That's good. Leave that there.
That looks deliberate. That's brilliant. That looks like you've really done it on purpose, and it'll be like a 20 an arm. People go, oh, during the lockdown, that's what everybody was doing.
Yeah, it's like a real blunt sort of gradient, the gradient fringe. That's what they call it in Vogue. I also bought quite a lot of stuff, like mad. Like I bought. I don't know why I bought. Can you see that? It's a mug. It's a mug of. I bought all of the Bristol stool chart merch. Does anyone know the Bristol?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I wanted. I thought.
Should we just explain for everyone? I mean, happy Christmas, everyone. Should we just explain succinctly what the Bristol stool chart is? Because I don't think everyone knows, but they're certainly about to find out.
Well, I do a podcast, and we did like a how-to poo. Basically, it's like a how-to podcast where we like learn different things, and we're like, well, I suppose we should do that because we learned that toilets, you're not supposed to sit on toilets, you're supposed to like squat in a hole or something. It's very bad for our digestive system. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Surely there's a podcast episode on just that fact. There wasn't, as it turned out. But then my boyfriend didn't believe that. So the Bristol stool chart is basically what you get when you have like a bad stomach and you go to the doctor and you're like, I don't know what's happening. They're like, well, where are you on the Bristol stool chart? Are you like a 1 to 3? Is it? I can actually consult it. A 1 to 3, separate hard lumps, like hard to pass. 3, like a sausage, but some cracks. Not very nice. It's not very nice, but we should be able to talk about it more.
Educational though.
Yeah, very, very educated, very, very helpful to be able to talk about it. We all do it. It's weird that we feel weird. Anyway, I told my boyfriend about the Bristol stool chart, and he was laughing. He was like, "That's not a real thing. That can't be a real thing." So I was like, "It is." And I looked up and I found merch and bought it for him as a joke. And he was a bit like, "Thanks." Like it didn't really work. There's a coaster. And there's also a driving car air freshener with the Bristol stool chart on it. And then it's just sat there. And as you can see there, if anyone's interested, it's like £2 from like Wish. So that was, and it's just sort of sat on my, because I'm like, well.
In that was your favourite moment of the year.
Yeah. It says a lot.
I mean, it was quite fun when Trump got kicked out, but it didn't match.
Nice segue from poo there, Mark. Love it.
I was too stressed. Whereas this, no stress. That was just fun. Whereas Trump went on for ages.
Yeah, bloody Wisconsin taking 4 days to count that payment half that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it did. It was like next day, boom, coaster, mug, air freshener. I don't drive, so I don't know where I'm going to use the air freshener.
You didn't have a bloke on CNN stood in front of a chart for 4 days, charting when it might come.
No, which would have been helpful with the Bristol stool chart. I would like that. I would like more in-depth analysis of my bowels.
So that's my other one and I think that it would be hard. It would be hard. I'm sure other people, surely over the course of the day, you'll have this as well. But it would be very, very hard to top as a sort of real comic moment happening in real time. The Four Seasons Hotel.
That was the best.
Be written any more beautifully. It's just so wonderful, and not only do they carry on with the conference, and it's at the time when it's announced that Trump has definitely lost, and Giuliani stands there making his crazed speech in front of a garden centre, but next to it is a sex shop with dildos half price or whatever. There's no possible way you could write that in your imagination any better, and it almost made me think there must be a God, except that he was clearly a bit sort of negligent when he let Trump win in the first place. But maybe the deity wanted us to have that 4 years, and just so we could enjoy his demise.
So we've already started by educating people about poo. We've done as well geese, Trump, the full gamut. People keep asking how you donate. Loads of people donating. We're already on 82% of our initial target. Thanks, guys. So
the Bristol Trafalgar had people flocking to the donations button.
Great.
Great. How can I get out of talking about food? But if you want to do that, just press either use the thing in the corner. Every second there's a donation happening, so that's pretty cool. If you put your phone like that in that thing above Ellie's head, then it'll take you there. Or go to Just Giving. Go to the Just Giving link below, whatever this is. Or use Super Chats, which you weren't going to do, but you started unilaterally doing it. So use Super Chats on YouTube, which is the dollar thing, and then you'll get them through. Finally, before we let you both go, what are your... Ellie, you asked them. The 2021.
Well, except for the obvious answer.
Yeah, don't do that.
What are your hopes for 2021?
Oh, God, I haven't thought about it. I'd like to Pooh Bear? No, I'd like to get a bit of structure in my life. So I get up at like a time when people are like, yeah, that's the time that you get up, not like 15 minutes before you're about to do like a charity thing. And so your voice is still quite low and you're quite like, eh. I'd also like to go to bed when it's like, yeah, fair enough, actually, see you later, rather than why is it 5 a.m. That's what I would like to do. I'm a night owl.
Mark.
Oh God, I'd like to finish my book, be able to do the radio series again, to discover a vaccine despite having absolutely no vaccine that was just immediately possible to distribute to everyone in the world, despite having not the slightest, not even completing biology CSE, and run a 5-minute mile and bring about world peace.
Wow, that's it, done, boom, be that one. What a pleasure, guys. Thank you for. Just again, if you could tell everyone just to donate to Campaign Against Living Miserably. Well, I don't know why I'm telling you to do that. It's obvious. But just say something.
Say it.
Yeah, I want you to say it.
Yeah. Please donate to Campaign for
Against Living Miserably.
I want you to donate to Campaign for Living Miserably. And also donate to Campaign Against Living Miserably. I can't speak. I just got up. Did I do it?
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Mark.
I fear that we've actually been quite miserable, and that probably wasn't the aim of the project.
Or was it not?
It's supposed to raise the mood, but also to encourage people to give. We're well on our way already to nearly $2,000. So keep donating. Donate whatever you can. That's a fair whack already. But we want to get even more. And every second someone's donating. So we're going to do this. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
Next year when we do this, I will have at least 2 items of decoration on the tree.
So, that would be real progress. I will hold you to that. Wow, someone's just donated $500 Mexican. I don't know what that is though.
Wow,
that is definitely impressive.
I think that's
$500 Mexican in pounds.
A million.
It?
Yeah. Oh, 20 quid. That's really good.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah. Someone just donated 50 quid on Just Giving.
Dad, whoever that is.
Yeah. Right. We'll let you both go. Happy Christmas and thanks for doing this. Lots of love, guys.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
People. You're the happiest moment of the year. Look at you.
Before we bring in, because we've got one of our next guests already in the green room. That's exciting. Ellie, before we bring in Kegan, the absolute hero and legend, I think he can hear us. Just tell us quickly. Well, no, actually, do you think we should wait? We should wait for your.
We should wait until one of your guests is inevitably late.
Well, one of them, Professor Green, was supposed to be on now, but we kept it going. I'll tell everyone what we've got on because the second guest has just arrived as well. So just so everyone knows who we've got coming up, we have got Shane, the genius behind Courtney Act, the comedian Mark Watson, the actor Aimee Lou Wood, the singer Declan McKenna, the comedian Nish Kumar, the comedian Jen Brister, Charity Shop Sue, amazing. Kate Quilton, the TV presenter. David Atherton of The Great British Break Off. That's a culinary vibe. The actor David Ames. The writer Scarlett Curtis. The comedian Larry Dean. Glamrou, who's just an author and write all sorts of amazing things. The comedian Ava Vidal. And Ash Sarkar. Wow. Right. Drum roll, everyone. Oh, keep giving, just giving. Or use the bar chart in the corner. So now we're going to bring in two very special guests, the actor David Paisley, and also the rugby star and all sorts of amazing things, Kegan Hirst. Big round of applause. Come on, Ellie.
I'm clapping. Also, can I just say that this is not a bar chart? This is
not. What is it?
This is not a bar chart.
Happy Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
How's the again, we are slightly disappointed, but we've made the effort with trees and no one else's. What's going on?
I don't have a tree
over there. My tree's over there. I wanted to sit in front of some books and look smart. So.
Look intellectual.
Kegan is just so hench that the tree is eclipsed by his sheer.
Yeah, there's actually 3 Christmas trees behind me.
Behind his guns.
I very nearly wore my Christmas jumper, but I thought maybe because it was the day after Boxing Day that it would be inappropriate. But obviously, I was completely wrong. So
I mean, Owen is a Christmassy enough for all of us.
I was going to get a hat. I was really upset I couldn't get a Santa hat.
I've got a Santa hat, so I put my Santa hat on.
Yes, obviously put the Santa hat on immediately. The producers just WhatsApp me to say that's a effing QR code. Not about, I don't know what I keep calling it. If you use that, you can donate. Use your camera and everyone can donate. And that takes you to the Just Giving page. Look at that. Oh, unfortunately, that was Kegan at a disadvantage.
Sorry.
I'll have to break out into song or something.
I can see something that looks like a bauble behind you, or is it a lamp?
This over here?
No, behind Kegan. Oh, it's a lamp.
It's a lamp that looks like
a bauble, though.
It looks like the thing off Chitty Chitty Bang Bang that cuts his hair. If I kind of sit back like that.
Let's start. Kegan, what you can answer any of them or more. Happiest, proudest, and or most embarrassing moments. Go for
it. I think for me, happiest, proudest moments for this year has been retiring from rugby. Happy in the sense of reflecting on a career and just having the guts to do it and retiring on my terms rather than waiting until I got injured. So yeah, I think that's been my proudest moment. And I've been thinking about this most embarrassing one. Because we've not been able to go out, I've not been able to get in a state where I've been able to embarrass myself. So this is probably the first year in my life that I don't have the most embarrassing moment. Although somebody asking me why I chose the dog that I've got, which is an Italian Greyhound, and said that it didn't suit me, was
rude.
Yeah, well, maybe rude, maybe a shrewd observation, but yeah. So I don't know what I'd go for my embarrassing one, but yeah, a big one for me this year has been Jackie rugby in basically.
David, you're on.
Oh, me. Oh, right, okay. Happiest, proudest moments, embarrassed. I suppose this year's been quite. I mean, it's been quite weird, hasn't it? It's not like I've been trying to think back about along this year, and then thinking it feels like January was about 3 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So when I was thinking about this year, I was thinking about what we're doing in lockdown. In lockdown, I did a lot of campaign work online, so I'm quite proud of a lot of the fundraising that I've done. That's one of the reasons why I'm quite happy to join you to raise funds for the Cam Zone, because I raised quite a few £1,000s for Women's Aid, Glasgow Women's Aid, and for LGBT Youth Scotland by running a half marathon. Although I haven't run it yet because I hurt my leg.
Oh no!
No, I hurt my leg on a run last week, and I need to run it before the end of the year. So I've got like 3 days to finish running it. So that I'm quite proud of because I raised quite a lot of money and helped those charities out quite a lot. Most embarrassing moment probably. So we returned to filming on the show that I make. I make a show in Scotland called River City, and we came back after the lockdown, and I probably was in a similar position to a lot of people because I'd put on quite a lot of lockdown love, as I like to call it. And God bless them, the writers in their infinite wisdom, they wrote a scene. They gave me a boyfriend for a start, which is quite nice.
Oh,
lovely. I got myself. Yeah, it's going very well. He's lovely. He's a lovely man as well. A lovely actor to work with. Although we can't kiss, there's no kisses because we have to stay 2 meters apart. So we're doing all these like love scenes, and I'm like from afar.
So they banned basically no sex on television, is there at the moment? Or anywhere?
Nothing, unless you've got like they can CGI you in, and they actually do have special effects to join us together on the couch, but they can't quite make it so that our lips touch. But probably I was quite embarrassed because I tried to get myself back in shape because they wrote in a naked scene of us post a romantic moment, shall we say, given it's a Sunday, and I tried to get myself back in shape, and I went to see the director on set, and she took one look at me and she said, "You know what, you can keep your clothes on."
That is rude.
I know. I was like, quite like.
I have to say, I've got a little confession because when I think I was still closeted at the time, and David was on. Was it Holby? Was it Holby?
Both. I did Holby and Paisley.
What was basically there was this very famous, I would say pretty hot gay kiss on television at a time when you didn't really get that much of it outside of Queer as Folk, probably, which was itself a special moment. And it honestly, just Google David Paisley gay kiss or something. It is.
Yeah.
And it was like, what was it, 20 years ago? No, 15.
It was 20 years ago, yeah.
20 years ago.
What? How old were you?
How old was I? I was 23.
I like the way Ellie's like.
Yeah,
You've got to tell me your skincare routine.
Very early nights.
Oh God, well I'm totally buggered then. That's not going to happen for me.
But you know what? We ended up on page 3 of the Sun because they got so many complaints. We ended up on page 3 of the Sun, and they put they had a big picture of us kissing right next to the page 3 lovely. So I always
Something
imagine
for everyone.
Yeah, something for everyone. You open up page 3, you get page 3 lovely, 2 men kissing. So yeah.
Final question, Ellie. Let's hit them with it before we allow them to.
What are your hopes? Apart from the obvious, what are your hopes for 2021?
That says it all.
David, you seem to be on a roll. You can go first.
Oh, for 2021, I've got quite a lot of hopes actually. Mostly, I kind of want things to improve generally in society for everyone that's struggling at the moment. I think it's been a really difficult year. I think it's been a really challenging year for many people in the LGBT community because there's quite a lot of pushback against things like trans rights. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I think I want 2021 to be the year that things turn around and that things start to change. Not just about the virus and for people who are isolated, people with disabilities, people with mental health issues who've really struggled this year. But for everyone that's really had a difficult 2020, I just really want 2021 to bring new things and to improve the lives of everybody that's been struggling for the last year because it's been tough. So that's what I would want, just for things to get better for everyone.
Oh, mate. I've got a bit teary.
Now
there.
I feel selfish. Mine was like, I hope to have a new kitchen or something.
Yeah, mine's like fix my boiler.
Also, I'd quite like a puppy.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I think for me, I think what 2020 has taught a lot of people is what's actually important. It's not the going on holiday. It's not the materialistic things that, social media says we all need. So for me, I think I'd like to predict that 2021 is going to bring a shift in perspective. People starting to look after themselves more physically, mentally, each other. A bit touching on there what David said, because I think, when people have been stuck on their own, felt really isolated, I think it's really made people appreciate what is actually important in life. So I'd like to think that slight perspective shift will have a big impact in 2021. And I would also like my puppy to be trained properly. So yeah.
Guys, absolute legends. Thanks so much. Happy Christmas. And
Merry
just so you both know, before you go, we're now 97% of the original target. So that's going quite well. So we nearly hit $2,000. So keep donating to the anti-suicide charity. And thanks so much to both of you. Calm. Thanks so much of you, Calm Zone. Thanks so much of you, both of you, and happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Cheers, guys. Happy New Year. Take care, guys.
Happy New Year. Have a good one.
Bye.
Wow. Well, we've got a very exciting guest now. Shane, the genius behind Courtney Act.
Oh, we're
Starstruck.
really
Isn't it?
just scrolling through them, aren't we? It's like a conveyor belt of glamour and celebrity.
I know. This is. I'm pretty.
I'm actually going to be
starstruck.
quite starstruck about this because I actually, the only series of Celebrity Big Brother I think I've watched in the last 10 years was the one with Shane/Courtney in it.
Let's
So I'm a
bring
little
Shane
bit-
Courtney in. Shane, hello. How
Hi.
many this?
I was just tweeting people. I'm going live now. Hang
Oh
on,
yeah, I'll let you tweet. Carry on. Me and Ellie will just
live
stand-
now. Tweet.
That's the
Hi
thing.
guys.
Hey,
Hi, Merry
How
Christmas.
are you?
this is exciting.
It's nice to see you. I have a Christmas tree which no one saw because I was planning on having Christmas with some people here, which obviously didn't happen. But I just thought I would go for like costumes and glamour and shoes in the background today.
Sparkle.
We've been whinging so far about people who've taken part, not really making the effort about background, but you've more than
He's
compensated.
using the word "we" liberally there. He's been whinging. I've been very polite and welcoming to people who've given up their time for this live stream.
I'm just negging.
Negging? Oh, negging.
Negging. Have I used the word right? I'm such a
I
boomer.
think so.
Well, I think
Is
that suggests
negging-
that you were coming on to them. I think
Maybe I am.
negging is like a pickup technique, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
I think there is. I feel like that pickup technique. Well, no, it still works. But the thing is that the people who respond to negging, I mean, it's set for disaster from the beginning. Let's just say that.
So, Shane, thank you for doing
Yes.
this. And by the way, everyone, just so you know, we've just hit our first target already, 100%. We've raised over £2,000 already. So that's a pretty good start to the show. So
That's a
keep
good
donating
start.
to Just Giving or using the QR code in the corner with your camera or using Super Chat because we've raised more on Super Chat, but we can't calculate it. Oh, see?
I'm
Already.
glad you told me. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
On air donation. Come on, everyone. Do exactly as Shane, the icon that Shane is doing. So here's first. You can answer one or more of these. Happiest moment, proudest moment, most embarrassing moment. We put or silliest moment, whatever. You can answer any of those.
Well, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I was going through the year and I went back to the beginning and I was like, oh, the beginning. I forgot that 2020 had a beginning that was full of joy and hope and in Australia, bushfires. But, and I thought, is it cheating if I take a memory from a pre-COVID world?
Kind of, but we'll let you have it.
I mean, I can come up with others. Okay, let's
No,
see.
do it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Well, this year I opened my first ever show. I do like a lot of cabarets and like live shows like that. But normally I will sing covers and I'm always a bit too afraid to include originals because I think people come along to a show, they want to be entertained. You want to hear like songs that you can sing along to. And last year I was working with a producer and he was like, no, I think it's time to do a whole show of originals. And I was a bit nervous because I thought, people don't know the songs. So how do they sing along? And so we put together this show. It was the most well-rehearsed, well-organized thing I've ever done. I'm usually hopeless at learning lines and learning scripts. And finally, like I had a person who helped me learn them. I didn't do it unattended because I know that I would have failed if I did that. So, learning where my weaknesses are and getting help where I needed it. And we opened the show and it was just like one of my favorite things I've ever done. And even though it was all original music, people actually paid attention more because they were like trying to listen to the lyrics and the things like that. So it made it even more meaningful. So that was a really proud and happy and joyous moment.
That's pretty wholesome.
Yeah.
That's
Should
very
it have been about like the sex orgy I had in? No. Kidding.
Let's talk about the sex orgy.
I haven't been any of those in
A
2020
socially
because
distant. It was
Yeah.
COVID compliant, okay?
Yeah, it was all glory holes.
Do you remember when like the pandemic first started and there was all of this like, can you have sex like when you like safely in COVID? And then the answer that like the CDC in the US gave was, well, it's not transmitted sexually, but you will need to keep a distance. And I was like, well, it basically isn't safe then, is it? Because you can't have sex with someone from 2 meters
Well,
away.
there was a New York health something or rather, like this isn't well researched and I don't have my sources, but there was some health something in the state of New York that said that glory holes were safe sex.
I was going to say that.
Safe COVID sex.
It was the New York City authorities, but also somewhere in Canada, and they officially said to people, if you've got to have sex, then use a glory hole.
And didn't the Netherlands say that you could procure a sex buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the official government advice was like procure a sex buddy.
Yeah, well, as an older woman who lives alone, I am entitled to somebody in my support bubble. Unfortunately, I didn't like put in the effort when the time at the time, and so I've just been, dry sheets night after night, basically.
What are your hopes for 2021 apart from the obvious? Because
apart from wet sheets.
Wet sheets.
So
Dirty sheets, having to wash my sheets all the time. My hopes for 2021. Well, I'm going back to Australia on the 19th of January. Hopefully. And so I'm just really looking forward to seeing friends and family. I'm used to being away from friends and family and maintaining my relationships through FaceTime and texts and all of that sort of jazz. But I'm definitely really looking forward to being in Australia and getting to give my mum and my dad a hug, and see my sister and my nephew, her child, who's also my nephew, doubles as my nephew. Although he's really into trucks and like things, and I'm worried that I'm gonna like have difficulty relating to him because he likes trucks and like banging things and loud noises. So I'm trying to like work my way up to, because I only get to see him once a year, so I don't get to like build an ongoing relationship with him. I just see him once a year, so I'm trying to like work out how to be a good uncle.
I feel bad because I've got a twin sister. I know one's not, and she went to Seattle in September 2019 with her cat Rosa, and then they got hit by a pandemic, which was a low point. So the first time I saw her since then was on Christmas Day. I was socially distanced before you report me to the police, anyone. But yeah, exactly. That'd be such a low point. Shane reporting one of my great uncles to the police for seeing my twin. It's
how long
like an example has to be made. Thank you so much for coming on. In fact, just before you go, let me tell you, since you've been on, we have hit 107% of our target. So that's good.
That's wonderful.
So that's very good. So keep giving to Just Giving. Use the QR code or use the link below and donate whatever you can. Some are donating a couple of quid. Some are donating like 100 quid. So wow. But keep it coming. But you're an absolute hero. Is there anything have you got any plans coming up? Because I know it's kind of everything's up in the air because of the world ending.
No, everything.
I was going back to Australia.
I know. Apart from that, though, I mean, in terms of performance stuff,
I was doing a play on the West End called Death Drop, which we were really excited when it was announced that London was in tier 2 and the show opened. It even like got complimentary reviews from The Guardian and fancy places like that. And then tier 3 happened and then tier 4 happened. But I think they are planning on reopening as soon as they can. So if people had tickets to it, you can still come and see. Although I'm pissing off to Australia on the 19th of January, so I don't know if I'll get to be in it. But what am I planning? I'm going to when I go. The reason I'm going to Australia is I'm hosting the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras on the telly next year, which has been moved from the hundreds of thousands of people rammed into the streets. Even though COVID's under control in Australia, it's in the cricket ground, so it's in like a stadium this year. So I'm looking forward to hosting that on the telly. But more than just hosting it, I'm going back to film 2 weeks of stories and packages that will be interspersed within the broadcast. So I'm currently working on like what sorts of stories I would like to try and tell in the broadcast about, different topics that have been important to the Australian queer community in this year. Like things I'm thinking of obviously are, the Black Lives Matter movement and how that impacted the Indigenous communities of Australia and how it impacts queer communities and things like that. So I those sorts of things like getting down and researching. They're my kink. And then I turn them into like short, pithy, understandable video bites on the YouTube or on the TV. So I'm looking forward to that few weeks of my life doing work.
Well, thank you so much, honestly. Thanks for taking that time.
My pleasure.
I've got the mulled wine out. I hope you've got.
I've got. You know what I've got? This is my because people don't drink tea in the US or Australia, the other countries where I've lived. I mean, they drink it, but not like here. And I've really come to appreciate it. But my favorite tea is called Bengal spice, and it's not like black tea. But what I do, and I just bought tea when I moved here, a big box of Tetley All-Rounder, which I feel like may or may not be kosher. I'm not quite sure whether it's like I should feel ashamed about saying that I have Tetley All-Rounders on this broadcast. I don't know. But I pop a Tetley All-Rounder tea bag and I pop a Bengal spice in my cup and I fill it up, and it gives you the pep of the caffeine and the nice warm hug of the other things in the Bengal spice. So
tips. Hashtag tips.
Hashtag tips. Get stuck in, everyone. So we've got culinary tips. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what people were educated about before, which you thankfully missed, but that was definitely an improvement. Well, lots of love, and I hope
thank you.
Back to Australia is great, but really appreciate it. Lots of love.
Thanks, guys. Have a great
Happy New Year.
So got another. So we've already raised now 107% of our target, which is pretty good.
That is great. That's minus the 15% cut you're taking, though, right?
well, obviously both of us 50% cuts. She's joking, everyone. Don't send that to the Daily Mail just to avoid a back and forth with lawyers.
Although one thing that you can send to the Daily Mail is that Owen has a miniature model of the Winter Palace on his Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, look. It's a little commie Christmas tree. All right, do me in. Thanks, Ellie. Good.
Anytime you want me to drop you right in it.
Good to have loyalty from a friend. Let's bring in Mark Watson, the amazing comedian Mark Watson. Come on, Mark. Hello, mate. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to both of you. I mean, I've got I wasn't sure what the festive level would be because it's the 27th now, but I do have an elf hat.
Yeah, put it on the hat.
Get that elf hat on.
If I'd known how you would be attired, Owen, I wouldn't have even hesitated to. And both of you got lovely. I've got a nice tree, but it's not in shot. Can I? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, that's better because Mark.
What a nice star.
We had Mark Steele on before, and he had like a tree this size, nothing on it. It was actually embarrassing.
I can't imagine Mark Steele exerting himself too much tree-wise. This is we got quite late in the day, like only a week to go, and it's almost the only one left. And it is, for want of a better phrase, enormous. I think it was too big for some people to take on.
I know that is a sizable, hefty tree. So, Mark, before we kick off, thanks everyone for donating. We're on 108% of our target. Pretty good. So keep donating to Just Giving. Use the QR code on your phone, whatever. Also, Ellie, I don't know if you know this. Me and Mark were once on Pointless, the game show. It was called Pointless Celebrities, and that keeps.
Oh, I do. No, I watched that. Yeah,
and we won.
That.
We won.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
It's a bit of an annoying thing with the name Pointless Celebrities that the name is obviously a gag, but it enables people to think they're the first people to spot it and go, Pointless Celebrities is about right. I mean, you get a lot more of that than me because you.
All right, mate.
A lot more.
You are a pointless celebrity, Owen.
I mean, it is a meme. It's literally a meme. But I did it again, Mark, without you, and I lost.
Well, we can draw conclusions from that, Owen. Although I seem to remember you carried me in one of the rounds. Actually, we were sort of surprisingly good. The main thing I remember is there were a couple of people that against us. I can't remember who they were, but who appeared to be shit hot and like obvious winners. And then we were like quietly really pleased when we beat them.
Yeah, when we did over Quentin Letts from then the Daily Mail. Come on, that was a big moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the thing is, you want to win it. Even if you're not very competitive, just sort of from a pragmatic point of view, because the thing with Pointless is if you get one thing wrong, you can be out before. I've known people be on it and their partner messes up and you're going home before you've even.
Well, that's what happened to me the second time. I was on with Paris Lees, and I honestly, it was German names of buildings. I mean, come on. Yeah. And I was the first one. I played it safe, and it was a disaster.
There you go. Well, try not to do stuff without me in future, Owen.
Listen, Mark, come on, Ellie, you ask him.
Which one?
Whichever one he wants to answer. Happiest, proudest.
happiest moment, your proudest moment, or your most embarrassing moment of 2020?
Or more than.
I've been thinking about this. I don't know. Oh look, I forget there are ears on the side of this. I'm not always getting as much value from the.
No.
I like your stained glass. That's nice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's you can't really see, but I mean this is a rented place. But there's I'm also making it worse because I keep after 9 months of doing stuff online, I still can't get used to which way is left and which way is right. I always do. But anyway, yeah, there were these surprising sort of like French doors with stained glass birds on, which apparently nearly got taken out because of this thing where over the years people destroy all the features of a house and then the next people have to put them back in. A happy moment I've had this year was, as you know, Owen, I was meant to be on at the same time as the lovable Bake Off star Michael Chakvraverty, and he's got tonsillitis, unfortunately, so he's not here. But I wanted to sort of honour him in his absence because I've been doing this podcast with him this year. It started fairly recently, and it's all about masculinity. And in the course of doing that, I've spoken to most of the guests come from more Michael's realm, really. We've spoken to a lot of gay, trans, non-binary people, and a lot of them are in their 20s as well. So basically, it's been a real. The chats are about kind of masculinity and different conceptions of gender and stuff, but they have forced me to look at stuff in a completely fresh way. Michael's a lot younger than me, of course, and that's been a really nice thing about this year for me, digging deep to kind of understand a different perspective. I turned 40 this year, just before all this mayhem went down. My 40th party was like, everyone's got a sort of final party or gathering they remember being at before the world ended, but mine is my 40th, so it already felt like quite a landmark moment. And so I spent quite a lot of the year trying to work out what that means and how I can remain relevant professionally, but also remain a good citizen of the world, because people sometimes do lose that faculty as they get older. So having like good conversations with significantly younger people, and that's been a real highlight of the year for me. And as I say, one of the best new people I've met this year has been Michael, and he would be in another box now were he not ill. But maybe he's watching, or maybe he's moping, I was going to say, which is a bit unkind, but he'll only hear that if he is watching. So then he's fine.
He's a lovely little fella, isn't he?
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
a very pleasing face. Like his face is quite a just makes you feel a bit sort of happy. It's a happy face.
It is a pleasing face. It's not a happy face at the moment, unfortunately, because of his illness. But his default state is happy. Yeah, he's got a lovely smile. He's got extremely well maintained teeth and good cheekbones and all this sort of thing. It's quite funny that you can see donations pop up in real time. It means that you start thinking, have I just said a thing that was worth 10?
It's weird as well, because we can't count these, because that's extra on top, because since you've been on air, we've gone from 108% to 116% above our target, but that's not including the money appearing on the screen. So this is
right. That's amazing.
This is a real triumph.
Probably the first time this year we'll see a line of a graph going up and be pleased about it.
yeah. That's come to be 100% bad news, but not this time. You're so much over the target. Do you start taking it out again, or is that not how it works? Really?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that is great though. You haven't even been on for that long.
No. I know. And we've already absolutely nailed it. Oh, £2,500 nearly. Come on. That's pretty good.
Just from chatting. Amazing, isn't it?
Giving it all that. Ellie, do the honours. Final question before we've got Aimee Lou Wood. She can hear us. I'm sure she can hear us. She's in the green room. We've got a green room. It's not.
I was in it while that Australian chat was talking. So I have to say the green room didn't feel that different from just being sort of in my living room. But
sort of just sitting in.
This is stupid, but I have some jelly babies here, which I got for Christmas. So I love jelly babies. And I deliberately ate some to replicate the experience of being in a physical green room. I have missed the snacking that comes with this career.
Final question, Ellie. Go on.
What, aside from the obvious answer, what are your hopes for next year, for 2021?
Well, I suppose, it's interesting, isn't it? Because almost everything in a way comes under the obvious answer, because really just a return to some sort of normality is like everyone what I'm craving. I suppose I suppose what I'm hoping for is, I mean, yeah, specifically with the sort of business that I'm in, it would be really, really helpful if we were allowed to go to places again and see each other. But I suppose a more kind of holistic answer would be, during this year, I've built quite a lot of, or rebuilt some friendships and relationships. And, I've worked harder on relationships with other people because we had to, basically, because we've been deprived of physical contact and closeness. So there have been some weird pluses to take from this year in terms of how I've interacted with some people. And my hope for the new year is to carry on that and just continue to kind of develop emotionally and just continue to try and be a better person, regardless of the changing circumstances. Because, as you say, wishing for this bloody thing to be over feels a bit old now. So I think instead you have to concentrate on your own internal progress and hope that the vaccine gets cracking really soon.
Well, hey, what an absolute legend.
Oh, great answer.
Oh no, that was actually
nice guess, Owen. Well done. Nice
well, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to think of anything you want other than just please can we go to the pub. But yeah.
So listen to his podcast because it is very, very good and related to this because we're obviously raising money for a charity that fights depression and suicide.
I thought about mentioning it, in fact, because what you're doing is really valuable here. So how long are you on for?
Another hour or so. We've got it's gonna be I'm getting myself slightly tipsy on mulled wine. But yeah.
I don't have a drink yet, and getting on for 2 p.m. here.
I think it's time, isn't
it?
I don't know what's happened. Maybe going out for a walk, and then suddenly it's the afternoon. Yeah. Well, good luck with the rest of it.
Thanks. Cheers, Mark. Honestly, thanks so much.
By the way, you were one of the first stand-up comedians I ever saw live.
That's a good stat.
You played at my University of Liverpool, when I was 18, and I'd come from like rural Wales, so I'd never seen stand-up comedy before.
I think that was with Hal Cruttenden, because I only remember playing once at Liverpool. God, that is a long. Well, not to say that it's ages since you were 18, but
it is. It is. It's a really long time ago.
It's a real. I mean, these lines have not come from nowhere.
No, well, likewise.
All right, mate. I will see you soon, but lots of love. Happy Christmas. Take care, man.
Happy New Year.
As we've got amazing, just so everyone knows, we've got Declan McKenna, Nish Kumar, Charity Shop Sue, all sorts of people. Keep donating. We're now on, what are we on? We're on 117%, which is very, very impressive. That is impressive. Yeah, but just keep donating. Next up, the amazing, iconic actor, Aimee Lou Wood. Oh my God, in she comes. Hey!
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you all right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Did you see my bath? Could you see it?
Can I see your flat?
Faff.
Oh no, faff. My faff. I had a stand and it kept.
Oh, you did have a faff. Yeah, I saw you faffing.
I was having such a faff. I thought this must be so distracting. I was honestly losing my shit, but it's okay. I've got it.
No, it's fine because you were in the green room. No one could see your faffing apart from maybe me occasionally from the corner of my eye.
Yeah, you could though, and I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ, this isn't a good introduction, is it?" I was like silent. I mean, it must have been silent, but I was having an absolute argument with myself. But
yeah, well, actually, Amy, I was thinking very unprofessional. Obviously, I was tutting away.
Oh, come on,
Amy, are you from near? I'm from Stockport. Are you from near Stockport?
I'm from Stockport.
Yes.
I didn't know you were from Stockport.
I wasn't born there, but I made Stockport my home actually.
Oh my God.
Where are you from in Stockport?
Like Cheadle, Bramwell area.
Oh yeah, I'm from Kale Green near Edgeley. No one knows what we're talking about, but
yeah. Oh my God. Do you know what? I feel like there's a kind of connection between Stockfordians. Is that what they call them?
Stockfordians. We are Stockfordians, yeah, big time.
I feel like I'm really drawn because I've always been drawn to you, love. And that explains a lot too.
That's it. It's that Stockport connection. It's that Stockport magic, which people often talk about.
Magic to Stockport, isn't there? I mean, the precinct and the sure.
The hat factory.
It's got the last hat factory, and also Viaduct is the biggest freestanding structure in Europe. Stockport facts. Thank you very much.
I was trying to remember that fact the other day, and all I could say was Viaduct.
It's a fact.
On that bit, I was like, Viaduct. Yes.
Before Ellie asks the questions, everyone, if you use the code in the corner, is it QPR? I keep getting my producer keeps swearing at me. QR code, because I keep saying it wrong, not QPR.
QPR, is that a football team?
Queen's Park Rangers, that is.
Use the QR code on your phone, then you can donate, or just click on the link, just giving. Ellie, take it away.
Hi, what are your happiest moment of 2020? Your most hopeful moment? No, what is it? Your most
and/or proudest or embarrassing, but she can choose, or all of them.
Okay, so I think what I'm really proud of this year is I feel like me and my friends have reached next level honesty. Like, because I think we've forgotten what our social personas are because we haven't been socializing. So everything's just kind of, the crap has been cut. And I feel like we've reached a kind of, we've always been really honest with each other, but I'm so proud that a lot of people who had that kind of, whenever you see them, they'd have that entertaining energy, like that really kind of happy-go-lucky, nothing bothers me, kind of thing, that they've kind of just shed that feeling of having to perform. And it's just kind of allowed for some really amazing chats that I don't think we would ever have had if we hadn't been locked in our houses for months on end. And so I feel like it's just, people have been really courageous with being vulnerable. And I'm really grateful for that, because I think it's really hard. It's really hard to admit when you're struggling, especially amongst actors, because there's kind of this thing with actors where it's like, oh yeah, it's so hard, but we're all fine. We're fine. Life's shit and it's impossible, but we're all fine. So I've kind of just been really proud of that. Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that's really good. That's a really good answer.
What is, if you were gonna, other than the obvious, like the world not being in total collapse and being imprisoned in our homes, what's your hopes for 2021?
What are my hopes for 2021? Just like that kind of continues. I kind of don't want people to fall back into, if everything, when and if things turn back to normal, I kind of don't want everyone to feel that pressure to go back into that social self, that kind of like, hey, what's going on? And like never really expressing themselves honestly out of fear of being judged, or, that kind of just pressure that it's so I feel like it is so British though as well. Like this kind of like, we have such unhelpful catchphrases, like keep calm and carry on, and like the kind of stiff upper lip thing. Like it's really not great. And I feel like that a lot of that has been, like I said, shed, and I would love that to continue in 2021.
And what's going on? In terms, just finally, sex education, what a series. What's the situation with it? What's going on?
We're filming it.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, we're filming it. But
you can't really do sex.
Huh?
How would you be able, it can't be a very sexy sex education.
Well, it's kind of like we've got all these rules and regs going on, and we're tested a lot, and there's all these kind of safeguarding stuff going on. So it's kind of like the sex can happen, but then immediately after it's like, put your mask on, love, get to your trailer, you're apart. So it's kind of, it's very new, but I think we're all getting used to it now. But there's a lot of kind of eating your lunch alone in a trailer and kind of missing your friends.
Oh.
By the way, the reason why I'm acting weird is because every time I speak, my screen goes big and I stop seeing you guys.
I know, sorry, because people are sick of seeing our ridiculously stupid faces, and people just want to see you instead. So we're trying to.
But I want to see you because I feel so lonely when I go on the big thing.
It's a very isolating moment.
I'm by myself. Yeah.
Amy, since you've been on script, we're now on 120% of the target. That's really good.
Oh wow!
We're nailing it.
I'm so glad that you're doing this.
It's very important, but thank you for making it happen. Honestly, seriously. I know it's a busy time. You probably want to go get drunk with your family, I'd imagine, it being Christmas.
I've had enough of that now.
But
yeah, I know what you mean.
My family either. But I feel like I really don't. I cried this morning because it was the end of Christmas. I am also coming on my period tomorrow, so this could all be to do with that. But I got really emotional because my boyfriend was like, right, the last Christmas song of the year. And it made me really sad, but it's not the end of Christmas, is it? It carries on.
No, that's not till the 6th of January is the end of Christmas.
Exactly.
So you've got like 9 days.
Yeah. I'm
keep milking it.
I'm going to milk the shit out of it.
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
Well, Aimee Lou Wood, you're quite literally a superstar. So thank you very much. Thank you for helping us raise already now about $2,500. Keep the donations coming, everyone. Just giving. Use the QR code in the corner. Big round of applause for Aimee.
Thank you.
What's the love? Stockport love.
Stockport.
Stockport.
Brilliant. How do I just not do anything now?
You just get kicked out really kind of it's quite
unceremoniously.
I know. All right, lots of love. Happy New Year. Now we're going to bring in someone who's a bit
exhausting.
It is, and we've got an hour to go, Ellie.
So many people. This is the most socializing I've done all year.
Yeah, this is our social life now, hanging out with just amazing celebs
on
StreamYard.
Yeah.
People are demanding Declan, so we're going to have to bring in the amazing singer Declan McKenna. Happy Christmas!
No. You all right?
Yeah, fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thanks. Doing pretty well. Drinking some coffee, enjoying the sort of post-Christmas, just like nothingness. It's great.
Malaise. I was going to start. I keep kicking off over the lack of festive backgrounds, but I feel like if we're going to bring in people to take up a bit of their time, we probably shouldn't ridicule their.
Yeah, I saw how festive you guys were, and I'd like put an extra Christmas jumper just there. But I didn't really have anything else handy. I could go downstairs, but there'd just be too much noise. I got my Drake Christmas jumper on though.
Oh, that's pretty
nice.
That's a great Christmas jumper.
So yeah.
What are you doing at Christmas, Declan? Talk us to your festive.
I've just been at home. I've kind of moved home semi-permanently now. I've kind of been kicked out of my old place a few weeks ago. So I'm home with my family. It was my birthday on Christmas Eve.
Happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was good. I just because I was just inside, I didn't really have an awful lot to do other than just kind of get really drunk. So I had a really hungover Christmas day.
Same.
Which is, it's, obviously it's my birthday on Christmas Eve every year, but this was a particularly harsh hangover. But it was nice because it was just, being with my family after a long time of not, and it's kind of been quite family-oriented couple of weeks and months, and I just really liked that, and been incredibly mellow as I think a lot of people's Christmases have been this year, but I've enjoyed it. I think we've had a good time.
So questions, Ellie, go for it.
What has been your happiest or proudest or most embarrassing moment of 2020?
Or all of them if you want.
Or all of them. Yeah, there's been a few proud moments.
Maybe it's all the same moment.
Yeah, well, yeah. I found out I'm going to become an uncle. I think I'm quite proud of that.
Hey, congrats!
Excited. That's the first time that's happened, so that's exciting. And yeah, as I say, sort of just this year has kind of put into perspective things that are important to me and just things that make me happy, and just think about a lot of things around my family and stuff like that. It's been really, really nice because of all of that, and so there's a lot of exciting kind of stuff to get excited about, even despite the situation. But been a load of proud moments. Got a silver vinyl of Brazil. One of my singles went silver. So finally got something in my studio that's a little bit validating. That's not just kind of charity shop art or whatever, or poorly placed soundproofing. So that was pretty cool. Tell you what, actually, the most proud and embarrassing moment kind of came similar time. The night I found out we got #2 album, which was a proud moment. And after that, about maybe 4 a.m, after celebrating and drinking pints for a very long time, I got a DM from one of my favorite musicians, St. Vincent, just sort of saying congrats and being really nice. And that was very overwhelming. And the most embarrassing moment was when I read the next morning my response, which was just kind of a lot of capital letters and shouting and just being ah! So that was kind of all in one. Life is a cycle. But yeah, so that there's been a lot of really good moments out of a very shaky year for me.
So 2020, we're not even 2021 yet. Ooh, that'll be certainly something to look forward to. But 2020, I think we can all agree, was a bit of a low point. But maybe the only way is up. I wouldn't bet on that just to cheer everyone up, but it might be. Who knows? What would your hopes be, other than obviously just being stuck in a sweaty pub again? Actually, you allowed that. But other than things going back to normal, what is your hope?
I don't know. I mean, just to kind of try and make the most of what I can in the moment, and like, it's been a year of kind of looking forward to things that like end up not materializing or being pushed well into the distant future, and just like, I just trying to get into habit of just finding my space for what I can enjoy, what I can control, and whether that's I've got a few plans that I'm hoping on materializing, a few little trips to the countryside, do some like writing and things like that, just away from everything, as long as it can happen. So I'm just I don't know. I don't really feel like I've got anything planned out and mapped out in my head, but I think maybe lesson learned from this year is just being able to, I don't know, be maybe just kind of react to the here and now, and like be very present, and be I don't know, in control of the things I can control, and I hope for the best. I don't know. I'm quite excited at that prospect, and just kind of making the most of a very strange situation, because it's not, I don't know, I'm not going to have this situation again, so it's like I shouldn't be wishing it away. Maybe is my sort of wishing away that sort of just being stuck in one place. Maybe there's positive things I can do out of that I wouldn't normally get to do. So
I mean, some people have found that. Like, some people got, because I hated all of it, but some people did get positives out of it. I mean, me, like,
one of my friends had a great time. It was absolutely sickening to see what a good mood he was in all the time.
It is very strange. It didn't really feel very positive for most of the year.
I don't want to be stuck in a sweaty pub where you have to fight your way to the bar and you're just rammed, like beers pouring all over you, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you get sort of like tonsillitis just from being in the room.
You joke?
Someone about the pub.
We've got someone who was supposed to join us today cancelled because they got tonsillitis, which is actually quite suspicious. How do you get tonsillitis if you're not? Oh no, it's not contagious, is it? How does it work?
I get tonsillitis all the time, and you can kind of get it from anything. Like, because if you're susceptible to tonsillitis, like anything can become tonsillitis. It's a real cycle. So, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really got ill this year, to be honest, because like just don't see anyone. But
I think I keep saying it's really boring, but I think I got the Rona in January. But I know everyone keeps saying, loads of people say that. But I never get ill.
I got it in September 2019.
People do say that. That is annoying, to be fair.
Cool.
Dave, before we let you go, since you've been on, we're now hit 125% of our target. That's very so keep pressing Just Giving, everyone. Use the QR code or go to Just Giving. And we're raising money for the Campaign Against Living Miserably, who focus on male suicide, the biggest killer of men under 45. 18 people die a day on average because of suicide. And obviously, life has become much harder. And now we've all been interrupted by the sickeningly cute cat, Socrates.
Socrates?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is Socrates.
So cute.
Look at him, little face.
We took him outside.
What's going on singing-wise, just before you vanish?
Just generally.
Yes, I mean...
I can't do it anymore. That's it. I don't know. I mean, it's a strange time. We're kind of hoping that touring in some form is going to come back this year, but it's kind of looked like most, there's a heap of uncertainty around it. Obviously, vaccine news is good. So we're hoping that changes things and makes things a little bit easier as the months go on, but we just kind of have to wait and see with that. But I'm kind of, I've got a little trip to Ireland. My friend Josh has got like a grant from an arts grant from the Irish government. He is Irish, and so going out there to do some like writing and stuff at some point when we sort of can. We're supposed to go out on the 11th of January, but I think they're on lockdown till the 12th. So any going anywhere right now, and obviously we're on lockdown, so is a bit of a question mark. But a couple of things like that, kind of in singing world, I'm trying to trying to dive into and just embrace, you know, being completely sort of isolated and in you know, a little sort of creative hub environment is kind of thing I'm looking forward to, wherever it's possible to do. But yeah, the rest of it, the touring industry is having a very difficult sort of time right now, especially the Brexit deal is very interesting for what that means.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, but you know, things will get better over time. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to focus on the creative side, because the rest of it is just, every time I'm asking questions about it, I get a different answer, and it's like, yeah, there is no answer really right now to what the future holds.
Declan, you're an absolute hero. Thank you, mate. Thanks for taking a bit of time.
No, yeah, delighted to come along.
And helping us breach 2,500. It's going up by the second. So I'll leave you now to just, you know, probably just get very drunk again, which is fine.
Yeah. I should probably wait like 1 or 2 days before getting really drunk again.
Yeah, but I keep doing like one day. I'll have non-alcoholic beer one day, not over Christmas. I've let myself go. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what else is there to do?
Mate, happy Christmas, happy New Year, and thanks so much for taking your time to do this. We really appreciate it.
No, thanks both of you. Hope you have a good rest of your stream. Here's to 200% or whatever.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Ellie, you're going to introduce the next superstar guest. Who actually...
I've got a cat on me.
Well, that's irrelevant. It doesn't stop you
Look
introducing.
how cute he is.
Yeah, it's trying to. Oh, look at my cute cat. Look at how cute my mug is. Pathetic.
Jealous. Just jealous.
I've got 2 very sweet cats. Thank you very much. Don't need. I'm going to just bring in Nish Kumar, the absolute hero.
Sorry.
We're very, very lucky.
I got distracted by a cat.
I know, but you weren't doing your job. Hey,
unusual
mate.
for me.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. There are no animals in my house.
Well, that's pretty. That's disappointing. Well, that's a real letdown from the get-go.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Nish. Goodbye.
Yeah, that would be great. No animals. Get out.
Yeah. How are you? How are you? Oh, by the way, before we start talking, thanks everyone for we're on 127% of the target now. Keep donating to Campaign Against Living Miserably.
It went up by 2% by the mere announcement of Nish Kumar.
I mean, people like donate.
Is the power of your celebrity.
Say what you will about me. I really inspire people to donate to charities that help people with their mental health. The mention of me is in
mention. How's the festive period going?
The festive period is going. I'm more meat than man at this point. Like I hear that. My diet the last couple of days has been in open defiance of my genetic propensity towards heart disease, and so I've just really hit the ham hard. I feel. Is there a condition called pre-gout? I feel gouty. Like I feel the coming storm of gout in my body. Like it is weird how for some reason in December is like a sort of it's just like a month that's ungoverned by laws of man or nature, and just for some reason we all think, I know how Jesus would have wanted me to celebrate his birthday by living like a sort of like Henry VIII and just a lot of just alcohol and meat in my system. I've got to that point now where I'm really starting to feel it. And it's when you wake up with heartburn. When the first thing in your day is like, oh, good morning. I feel that. I feel like there's meat and gravy in my lungs. So I need to curb it. But you know, it's new. It's been a difficult year for all of us. So why not indulge over the festive period? How are you both?
Yeah, I mean, for
similar, really. I feel like for me, it's been more like biscuits. I feel like there's that punk band, half man, half biscuit. I feel like that is literally the case for me.
I just I can't have biscuits in my house. I just can't have them in my house because
if I get a pack of hobnobs, then within an hour, gone.
Me and my husband decided that we were going to bake Christmas biscuits for all of our friends and then drop them off for them on Christmas Day. So we baked. So it was about 14 people in total, I would say. And we went to cycle off because we were going to do it on the bike, and we discovered that my husband had a puncture. And since then, I think we've eaten all of the biscuits that were intended for 14 people, and that was Christmas Day. So that was 2 days ago. So yeah,
that's a sign. That's a sign from God. That's a sign from Jesus himself. If you were planning to cycle biscuits around and you've discovered that there's a puncture, that's a sign from God to just be like, eat the biscuits. I want you
the biscuit. Eat the biscuit. So Nish, while we've got you, it's been a roller coaster of a year. It's had its ups and mostly downs, but we're trying to lift the mood. So answer as many of these questions as you want. Happiest, proudest, most embarrassing. Go.
I would say the happiest I've been this year was I do understand that it's a sort of temporary moment of happiness, and there's various other problems that go with it. But just the second of feeling that Donald Trump had lost the election, and just imagining how foul a mood he was in, that was probably either that or when they put the statue of Colston in the water. That was the statue of that going in the water was. I enjoyed that on an almost sexual level. I'll admit to it. That putting the statue in the water was hilarious. It hurt no one. It was brilliant. That was probably my highlight.
It was a very erotic moment.
Erotic moment.
It was an erotic moment. It's like watching a slaver just down he goes.
It was so great.
It also opened the door for a lot of other statues to be taken down as well, which was great.
Fantastic. Either statues have got to go in the water, or they have to have motion activated voice boxes in them that every time you walk past, they say things like, "I was dreadful." Like if that one of those two things has to happen, I'm willing to meet the statue people halfway. Either they go in the drink, or they have voice boxes in them, and when people walk past, it lists atrocities that the statue is responsible for. So either one of those two things. I'm willing to meet the statue people halfway. I'm not an absolutist. I'm a creature of compromise instinctively. My proudest moment of the year, I guess the proudest thing for me was that we managed to make 6 episodes of television largely from this room. So that was pretty good. That was fun that we managed to do that. We did I did a BBC Two show. Our first episode was the week after the first lockdown was declared, and so we were basically like panicking, and my producer and everybody who worked on the show somehow managed to work out how to make television when we couldn't sit in a room together, and we wrote it all on Zoom and filmed it in various people's houses. That's also a lead into my most embarrassing moment of the year, which is having to explain to my neighbours why a man in protective equipment was wiping down camera equipment outside my house. I'm fairly convinced my neighbours, who I think have quite a tenuous understanding of what I do for a living, because I sort of come and go at strange hours, and I think they now believe I am starring in and producing my own pornographic films in my house.
Are you starring in your own pornographic films, Nish? Is the question I'd ask.
Yeah, not professionally. I do that recreationally.
Dabble.
That's not my job. It's my passion.
Yeah.
I'm the Orson Welles of porn. I like to star in it, co-write it, and then direct it as well.
There's a market for it. There is a market for it.
I've seen the tweet. Okay, there's not many of them, but the ones that are into it are very vocally into it.
Extremely committed.
Yeah. My brain is just trying to picture an Orson Welles porn film now. The mind is boggling, to be honest. On a Ferris wheel.
Finally, what's your hope for 2021 other than the obvious?
More porn. That's the obvious. More porn.
Yeah, my hope is that I'll really be able to make the transition out from hobbyist pornographer into I'm really hoping that I'll be able to make that happen for myself. I guess my hope for 2021 is I suppose my hope for 2021 is more, as with everyone, is there some way that we can strap the vaccines to those crop dusting planes like the one in North by Northwest and just have them fly low all over the country and just have us all out, just open mouthed in the street. On a level that, on a different thing, I just sort of hope that people, there have been some positive lessons that have come out of 2020, and I sort of hope that that people carry those forward into 2021. You know, I think the sense of community, the sense of communal responsibility for each other's well-being that I have really felt this year, not just in events such as this one, but also just even on a smaller level, just people checking in on each other, you know, people taking responsibility for other people's well-being, whether that takes the form of a charity event, Marcus Rashford's school meals program, or even just people checking in on friends that live alone or people they might be worried about. I've really felt a strong sense of that community, and I hope that gets carried forward into 2021, and hopefully once we're allowed to actually be in rooms with each other again. And also, I love banana bread. I'm really happy for this trend to continue. I'm a huge fan.
I mean, now we're going to go to third lockdown. I've been waiting for the third lockdown. I'm in it. I'm all over banana bread. That's what's going to happen.
Lockdown 3 is going to be a real stink. The third one of any franchise. We all remember Terminator 3. It was an absolute stinker.
Even Godfather 3 was the ropiest.
Godfather 3, that is not canon. I don't acknowledge that as canon.
Godfather 3 is best case scenario is a Return of the Jedi lockdown, but the third one of a lot of these things is really stinky. So yeah, lockdown 3. I'm hoping for more banana bread, and a general sense of people taking responsibility for other people's well-being.
Nish, you're an absolute hero. Thank you so much for taking time out. Honestly, really appreciate it.
I have literally nothing else to do. I don't know why everybody's so keen to thank me for doing this. I've been watching Test cricket.
You've got porn to do. You're taking time off porn. Come on.
Precious porn hours are being wasted.
Yeah, this is the light for porn.
Yeah. People will take this seriously and now complain. Thank you, mate. I'll see you soon. Lots of love, mate.
Merry Christmas.
And before we bring in two next amazing guests, we've already hit now 130% of the target. That is absolutely amazing. We're raising loads, 2,614 quid so far. Very, very, keep going. Press Just Giving or use the QR code on your phone. Easy.
Oh, look at Socrates.
Oh, look at the little cat. Oh, 20 quid donation. Thank you very much.
That was Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates is reeling them in.
Bringing in the coin.
So we've got two amazing guests now. Let's bring them in. The incredible comedian, Jen Brister. Big round of applause. Woohoo! You're on.
Hi.
There it is.
Hi. I'm good, Owen. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm fine. We're doing all right. I'm going to bring in as well, before I ask you more, the incredible Charity Shop Sue. In you come.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me? Because I'm not used to this. I need these on, don't I?
Extremely clear, I would say, actually, Sue. Very, very clear indeed.
Right, good.
How are you both then? This is obviously me and Ellie are very appreciative, taking a bit of time out of 27th of December in the kind of no man's land of Christmas.
Oh, well, I'm drinking, so I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel. Yeah, I mean,
I've got about 5 shots of Baileys in this, and I will say I'm sorry because I don't know if I'm going to slur a little bit through it, but I had to do this, Owen. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Ellie, because I got a little bit drunk yesterday, so this will get me through today. So thank you, everyone, and well done, because it's going well, isn't it?
It is. We got loads of money coming in. People I just got another 20 quid. Bam. Thanks, everyone. Keep pressing the link. So we'll start. Ellie, why don't you start with Jen?
What has been your happiest or proudest or most embarrassing moment of 2020?
All of them. Choose. Pick and choose.
Right. Well, it's quite hard to be proud, isn't it? I think I didn't really at the beginning of this whole lockdown. 2020, there's not much to be proud of. I confess. I spent most of it in elasticated trousers, But I guess, and I haven't been baking sourdough, I've achieved nothing, basically. I hope that in fact, maybe that makes some people feel better. There's been a lot of chat about achieving. I resent that. I've achieved 0. But I suppose if I was to think about a proudest moment in the depths of desperation as a stand-up comedian when I had to do Zoom gigs. Is that a gig? I don't know. I don't know if a beige middle-aged lesbian having a breakdown in front of a laptop is a gig, but that's what I've been doing. I started a podcast with a couple of mates, and we literally didn't know what to call it, so we called it Women Talking Bollocks, and that is what we're doing. And it's been absolutely so good for my mental health just to have every week. I chat to 3 mates, because one of them's my producer, and it's just been really fun. And I suppose I have taken pride in that, because that feels like an achievement of some sort, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been super fun. I do have an embarrassing moment. Do you want to hear it? I don't know.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Okay. Right. Sue, strap yourself in. Ellie, please. I don't know how you're going to feel about this story. Okay, Owen. Basically, in the summer, for stand-up comedians, it was an absolute shock to all of us to realise we weren't essential workers. We couldn't believe it. And we were like, can you believe that we're not actually necessary? Anyway, so we didn't have a job, did we, at the beginning of lockdown? But then in the summer, it eased up and we could go outside. And as the lockdown eased, we had gigs outside. And one of the gigs that we started to do were these car park gigs. That's what they were, gigs in car park. Bleak, actually. I don't know if you've ever tried making half a dozen Ford Focuses laugh, but it's harder than you think. So it's just people in parked cars watching you do stand-up comedy, and it's fed into the car, either through a microphone or through their Bluetooth. I don't understand it. It's technology. One of these gigs I did was in a car park in Crystal Palace, football ground. And there's 2 gigs per night, okay? And the last gig was quite late. It was sort of like 10 o'clock at night it started, and I wasn't on until about 11. And so because we were in a car park, the toilet was in a portaloo. I'd already used the portaloo at one point that day. I've got a peanut bladder. But at that point, it was dark. And I said to Mark Watson was the MC, and he came up to me and said, Jen, you're going to go on first, so I won't do much at the top. I said, have I got time to go to the toilet? He said, oh, absolutely. Yeah, of course you have. I said, oh, that's great. Okay. So I went to the toilet in the portaloo, and I couldn't see anything because it's pitch black, because it's a portaloo. There's no lights. But I know better than to just sit down on a toilet seat that I'm sharing with men. So I did what any woman would do. I've got quite strong quad muscles. I hovered over the top of the toilet. And I've done it many times. I'm 45 years of age. This is not my first rodeo, okay? I'm leaning back, having a wee. And, well, I can feel a little bit of wee going into my knickers. I thought that's not right, is it?
Nice.
I thought, do you know what? I'm too far forward on this toilet seat. I need to put... So I shifted back a bit. I was like, just go back a bit, Brister. And I went full throttle because I knew it was going to be... So, and then I thought, hang on a second. My trousers are wet. Hang on a second. My trousers are soaking. Why are my trousers soaking wet? And at this point, I can hear Mark Watson going, hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring on the first acts this evening. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? What is happening? Oh my God, I'm pissed into my trousers. Why am I pissed into my trousers? I look back, and the toilet seat of the toilet is closed. I've just been pissing onto the top of the toilet.
Yeah.
The urine has just gone straight down. Oh my God. And I'm wearing these... there's sort of like green, shiny, like really light trousers. So like if you piss on them, you can tell. And this is in the summer. So I said to I put my head out and I said to the promoter, I said, like, Leanne, I've got some shorts in my bag. Chuck me these shorts. So she had to throw me a pair of shorts. I had to peel off my urine-soaked trousers, put on these shorts. I ran onto the stage just in time. My legs are still wet with piss. I don't know how the gig went. I would say average.
You must have been cold, Jen, if it was in a car park. Was you cold with all that down your legs?
No, because it was a really hot day. It was really warm. It was like
that's even worse then, because it would have stunk, wouldn't it? I hope you weren't near anybody.
Well, I was only near about 300 to 600 people in their cars, but other than that, I don't think anyone. I mean, listen.
Oh, thank God for social distancing. Then,
that was the one time everyone was like, "Thank God."
Fresheners.
Not nice. Not nice, Jen.
We've had poo and piss already in this telethon, so thanks, guys.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
but you did ask me. And also, I think we can all agree what a professional.
Oh yeah, I mean a pro. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You've dealt with a lot of pro.
The show must go on.
Carry on. You've got to keep going, Jen. You did a good thing then. You made people happy, even though you felt very uncomfortable yourself. And you stunk a little bit.
Unbeknownst to me, that particular gig was being reviewed as well. So there we go. You can find it online.
Wow.
Oh
On
dear.
that pissy bombshell, Sue, go for it. Hit us with it. Anything to do with pissing yourself?
No. I mean, I am quite good. I do a lot of pelvic floor exercises, so it keeps it in. I don't know if you do those, Jen, but if you want me to exchange some notes with you, I can do that. All right. As you get older, it is something you have got to control. Yeah. But no, I think embarrassing moment. One thing I have, and I know I've read about this in the news, Zoom calls and people not muting. Hands up, it's happened to me. I was having a call with my manager, and there was a team of them on there, and they're always trying to review me. They don't really like me very much, Owen, if I'm honest. But I raised that much money for the shop that they've just got to keep me there. And I was muttering stuff under my breath. I thought I'd muted it, and I didn't. I can't say what I was saying because I didn't want to put it on here. And also, I suppose they might be listening now. What I said was that I was talking to my dog. My dog was in the room, and they said, "What are you on about now?" They said, "You're going to have to go." I said, "What?" I said, "I'm talking to my bloody dog." It was a little bit embarrassing, if I'm honest. But I mean, I got pee in your pants and getting caught by your manager, saying very nasty stuff about her.
It's the tricky one, isn't it, to figure out which one is the most embarrassing. What did it rhyme with, Sue? You can't say it loud, but what did the insult rhyme with?
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to say because it probably is one of the worst words you could possibly say.
Munt?
It begins with a C and it ends with a T. Yeah. And before that, it was dirty. That and I don't want to go into it. It's. I know it's not nice. I'm a very polite woman, but she really pushed me that day.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, I did a online corporate where I made an inference about one of the senior executives, and I said, "Oh, it's lovely to see you've made such an effort with your cravat." And he said, "Yeah, I'm just making an effort for the ladies." I was like, "Yeah, like you're into the ladies." He said, "I am actually." I said, "Good, and you are into, of course, and why wouldn't you be?" And loving your cravat. So I don't think I'm going to get a call back from them either.
Well, do you know what? You've just got to style it when it happens, eh? It's not. It happens to the best of us. I've seen it. I've seen it in the papers. People talking about getting caught out. So I knew I weren't the only one, but I did style it out, Jen. You know.
Do you know what?
You styled the piss out, we can do it. Us girls are quite good at stuff like that, aren't we?
I know, we're constantly thinking on our feet, aren't we? And also, do you know what? Often I see a dog and I'm thinking, that does look a bit like a dirty, I mean, these things are...
Well, they're not all nice. Let's not pretend, it's not some animals have not got the nicest personalities. I mean, I love them all. I'm not saying that I don't like animals, I do. But some of them you look and you're like,
there's something about you. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
I appreciate that, Sue.
I know.
Guys, since we've been on air, we have now hit a pretty spicy total. 138% above our target already.
Wow! That is amazing.
Incredible. Just for a brief moment, I thought you were going to say, since you've been on, ladies, people have retracted their donation. And we are now minus 78%. There's a lot of regret in the room that you're
They're
here.
actually taking legal action against Just Giving because they're so angry.
Oh,
Give it back.
Do you know what? That's amazing. That is. It's such a good thing to do as well on Christmas because a lot of time people just want to sit around watching TV, don't they? So it's nice everyone's got together and actually doing something to raise awareness. That's amazing.
You preach. So finally, to leave us on a bit of a high,
we had with the urine story. What are you saying, Owen?
That's a bloody good story that was, Owen.
It's just right now all anyone's picturing is that. They're just picturing the piss.
It could have been worse, Jen, because you could have slipped up on it afterwards, because I'm assuming it kind of squirted under. I know I'm going too far.
Yeah,
now. It could have. Going out there injured and sodding in.
Absolutely. Do you know what? In a way, like you can get that stuff that you can spray on your legs to give it a little bit of a sheen. I think that's what I was giving off. They were like, "Oh, she's put a little bit of that on. She's made an effort."
Oh,
No.
right, yeah. So you look very slinky. You went out there stinky, but you got very, look very slinky. See what I did there? Play on words. It's that Bailey's, you see. This is what it does to me.
That's quite careful.
Very quick-witted after a few shots.
I feel it.
Finally,
Sorry.
hopes for 2021.
Wow. I'm sort of going to go off the back of what Nish was saying. I think there's been a lot more emphasis on collectivism and less on the individual, and we've all been sort of forced to think about other people other than ourselves, even if it's just wearing a mask to the supermarket. And I would love if that continued on into 2021. You know, 2021 is going to be tricky with Brexit when none of us are going to have paracetamol or yogurt. So I think I would love to think that might continue, and that would be my hope for 2021, is that we all take a little bit more time to think about each other, not just ourselves.
I agree, Jen. I think the same thing, really. I think we've found in the shop that we've had a lot more people giving, thinking about the neighbours, rallying round. And I think that's going to continue, and I hope it does. I think it's going to make 2021 a good year. I think if we can take anything from this, it's about thinking about other people a little bit more, isn't it? That's what I think. It's nice. Hopefully, that's going to be a positive thing to take forward.
Guys, you've been absolute superstars. Thank you so much. You've helped raised, getting on for 3,000 quid. We're doing well. So thank you. Keep donating, everyone.
This is brilliant.
Have a good day.
Lots of love. Happy Christmas.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Lots of love. So keep clicking on the link or use the QR code. It's for Campaign Against Living Miserably, taking on suicide, the biggest killer of men under 45. So thanks so much for doing this at Christmas. Let us now bring in two absolutely incredible guests. We've got loads of amazing guests, but these are two brilliant guests. So let's bring in, firstly, Dave Atherton, the winner of the Great British Bake Off. Big round of applause.
Hey guys.
Oh my God, and also winner of the best Christmas outfit.
I mean, like, hello. Let's begin Kate Quilton.
I feel like you're going to cycle a very festive Tour de France.
It does look a bit like that, in a good way. Kate Quilton, let's bring in Kate. Hey, Kate, the amazing presenter. There's a culinary theme. She's an amazing guest. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, guys. Happy Christmas.
You're both looking great, by the way. You are both looking really good.
See, I was actually in my pajamas about 10 minutes ago, putting up shelves, and I've just been hearing the shade you've been throwing for people not being Christmassy enough, so I thought I'd put on my tightest Christmas jumper, obviously.
Did you just put up the Christmas tree just now? Just to...
No, but
that's actually
you
a
can talk about
cardboard
the festive...
cutout of a Christmas tree.
To me, Christmas is leading up to Christmas. Like, so Christmas is finished for me now, and I almost took this down yesterday. So this is kind of being kept up for you as well.
Someone's asking if you'll share your marzipan with them.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I tweeted because I've got mainly marzipan for Christmas this year.
A lot
but
of
no, I
marzipan.
won't share. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the right
Let's kick off. Kate, what are, you can choose any of these or all of them, happiest, proudest, most embarrassing moments of 2020?
Okay. Well, firstly, you got to excuse where I am. I'm in my bathroom. I just moved house a week ago, right? And we don't have any internet. And this is where you get the best signal. So I'm literally here with my face squished up against the window. And I really hope it holds, but I think it's doing all right. Most embarrassing moment. Do you know what? I was thinking about this. And I was thinking, actually, I had a really embarrassing moment happen to me yesterday. And it's so embarrassing that I don't want to share it.
Share it. Share it. Come on.
Embarrassing. Right, I've lost your faces. Is that just me?
Oh, we can still hear you. We can still hear you. We want to hear about the most embarrassing moment.
Yeah, now I can see you. That's better. I'm telling you the story.
Oh, we've made you big screen just to show so everyone can get the full force of the embarrassment.
Have a look at my bathroom. Right, so my niece and nephews, I've got a lot of them. I've got 8. And 3 of them, I bought them. They're like teenagers, you know, age 19, age 16, age 13. So for their house, I bought them a Netflix subscription, for the year, because they don't have it. And, you know, I've been working in telly since I was 18 and broadcast. I feel like I was there at the beginning of Netflix when genuinely in 2009, when people said Netflix and chill, they meant Netflix and chill, right? Anyway, in the kids' Christmas card, I said to them, hey guys, here's a full year where you can Netflix and chill. And they all just looked at me and like the blood drained from their cheeks. And they just looked at each other. They didn't know what to do. And then the eldest, she's 19 years old, she piped up. She's like, yeah, I'm not really into incest. And I was like, what, guys?
Wow.
What does Netflix and chill mean? Yeah, and they all fill me in. Because look, I haven't been dating for 10 years. I just didn't know.
Producers laughing in the other room. That's amazing.
This is like the biggest embarrassing mum moment of 2020, probably for me. There's been lots more embarrassing. I haven't quite wet my knickers or anything like the girls before.
Yeah,
I mean, that's happened in other years, but not 2020 for me.
That story about it was a very special story about pissing, which I'm not quite sure anyone's going to outdo on the embarrassing front, to be honest. Well, maybe David will. David, all those questions, choose you one.
I'm going to go with embarrassing first as well. And I'm a bit good that this is, because we haven't had a lot of things to do this year, have we? But mine is similar to Jen's in the sense that we went for a walk one day in lockdown and we went to Peckham Rye, and it's quite a walk from our house. And then I got the cramps where I was desperate for a poo and started sweating. And so I had to get my partner to go off and do a recce and find somewhere where I could do a wild poo. And Peckham Rye was heaving, which was quite strange because obviously this was in kind of a lockdown, so we were quite surprised already. So I went in a bush, and I can say that while I was pooing, I was watching people's feet maybe half a meter away from me. But I did feel really good afterwards. So it was embarrassing, but also totally necessary.
Why are all stories about poo or piss on this live stream? I'm just trying to. Well, it's fine. That is embarrassing.
But it happens a lot.
Did you enjoy the danger element?
I think I probably would have done in the past. I've done lots of wild poos before, but I think because since being on TV, it felt a little bit more.
Can you imagine if someone recognised you?
I had to do 2 piles. I had to shift and move across to another part as well. So yeah, it was not very pleasant.
Hey, David, I can't believe that, kind of your bowels just happily went along with this. Do you know what I mean? You were just clearly very relaxed in the moment.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to hold it in. I wouldn't say I was that relaxed.
Right, okay. Good work.
This was everything. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Finally, sorry, just got very distracted visually. Hopes for 2021 apart from the obvious.
More public toilets.
Yeah, more public toilets probably. Kate, go for it.
Hopes for 2021. Well, oh my God, apart from the obvious, I think, well, I mean, I guess it is obvious, but the thing that I just feel like I'm gagging for most is really hugs. And I just, it'd be really nice at some point to get hugs, wouldn't it? And to see less of one's own bedroom. I mean, there's been an awful lot of, sitting in a Zoom den all year long.
Yeah, big time. David, apart from public toilets.
Well, like Kate, we just bought a house, so I want to kind of do more in my house, which is a personal one. But then I think I was part of the vaccine trial, which I think I got the placebo, but I was part of the trial still. And I'm hoping that vaccine is going to get rolled out, because I think it hasn't been so much of an issue for me because I don't like everyone that I knew before. But people have been very sad not being able to see their family and their friends and things. So I think it'd be really nice if those people got to connect with the people they wanted to.
Guys, you've been absolute heroes. Thank you so much. And just so you know, we've now hit 142% of the target. That's a lot of money for campaigning against living miserably, the anti-suicide charity. Really important call.
What is your target? What is
Get
the
that
target?
on it's over there.
Well, it was $2,000, and then we just blitzed through it. So, and it keeps building. Every second we get another thing. So people can do that. They can use the QR code in the corner on their phone, or you can just do it on the Just Giving thing. We've also got hundreds of pounds on the YouTube super chat, but I can't count it up because I don't have basic arithmetics. So we've got maybe about $4,000, but I can't count it up.
That's
good.
Well impressive.
We're gonna. It'll get higher.
Hey, that is phenomenal. Wow.
But thank you so much, honestly. Not least, Kate. You've literally had to drive to hide in a bathroom, so thank you for doing that. Good luck on the move. Good luck,
And
David.
thank you,
Do you know what,
David,
Owen?
for
My car
volunteering.
didn't start this morning, so there was no driving. It's literally, it is disaster zone over here. So yeah,
Oh my
it's
God. Well, Kate, that makes it even more special. So thank you. Seriously, you're a hero.
And thank you, David, for volunteering in the vaccine trial as well.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I like
absolutely
needles, so
legendary.
it works quite well.
Great. Everyone's doing it.
Well, happy Christmas, guys. Lots of love. See you soon.
Happy New Year,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo, we're getting there. Ellie, come on. That is very impressive. 2,000. I can't wait. By the way, at the end, we're going to do your special stories as well, because it is quite special.
What, mine?
Yeah, we won't do it now, though, because we've left. We're now 5 minutes overrunning, which is really rude.
But also unsurprising. I think for someone who's left wing, having a meeting that is 5 minutes over is actually a remarkable feat.
Pretty impressive, to be honest. Keep donating, just giving, or use the QR
code.
Right, let's bring in our next two guests, the amazing writer and activist, Scarlett Curtis, and the brilliant actor, David Ames. Big round of applause.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Scarlett has outdone everyone here. Okay, fine.
I've been wearing this for a week, and I was wearing it before I even knew you wanted people to be Christmassy. So
I don't think I told. So David, to be fair, is at a disadvantage because I'm not sure we did actually. We didn't, did we? We didn't
No,
suggest
you didn't tell me
Christmas
either.
theme. No, I just think you'd have taken it as read. It's Christmas, guys.
I do have a tree. It is Christmas here too.
Oh
Are
my
you-
God, that's an amazing tree.
I feel like an idiot now.
Oh, I want to cover up my tree now. I
Yeah.
said tree thing.
How are your Christmases going? Come on, rate them out of 10. What are you doing? What's going on at Christmas?
Just lots of chatting to people, texting, FaceTiming. Yesterday was a particularly awful hangover day. So yesterday was just movies and shoveling whatever I could into my mouth. So yeah, that was, Jurassic Park amongst other movies, just fodder. So that was mine.
I mean, Scarlett, you are Christmas personified. So
I absolutely love Christmas. It's been nice. It's been quieter. I swam in the sea on Christmas Day. That was very
wow. Where are
fun.
you? Where are you in the
Suffolk.
country?
In
Oh,
Suffolk.
lovely.
So it was extremely cold. One year, actually, someone in my family swam on Christmas Day and got lockjaw and couldn't eat their Christmas dinner the whole day, which was pretty good. But yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice.
Ellie, hit them with the questions then. Let's go for it.
What
I'm in
were
a great
your-
position given what we've heard so far, but carry on.
What were your happiest, most proud, and most most embarrassing moments of
You choose.
2020? Please feel
David.
free to include a story about your bowel functions.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot.
That seems to
Been a
be
lot
the
of
theme.
too.
There's
So-
been a lot. Yeah,
David.
I mean, I definitely haven't taken a dump in the woods.
In Peckham.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm very close to Hampstead Heath, and I was running down there throughout all the lockdowns, but never stopped off. And also, I grew up, and not just Hampstead Heath, stopping off. I mean, every time I mention it on Twitter, I get all the jokes. Oh yeah, stopping off. But I grew up in the countryside, so you would have thought I would have taken more wild dumps, as David called it, which I'm kind of interested by that, but also disgusted. Yeah, no, I didn't do anything hideously embarrassing like that. I mean, I've got a really high embarrassment sort of threshold. It takes a lot for me to sort of get embarrassed. I usually get embarrassed for other people, less so for myself. I mean, so that's kind of it, really. I don't really have many embarrassing stories, so you might want to try sort of a different question. But yeah.
Happiest moment.
Embarrass me.
What about your happiest moment?
Happiest moment. Happiest moment. Probably, I suppose, all things considered, it's probably the first time I was able to sort of try and see my family at some point this year, which I'm very, very close to my family. I mean, it was for kind of crappy reasons. Unfortunately, my uncle passed away this year. So, but it was a time when I could go at least sort of see immediate family as they were my bubble. And I was able to go and spend time with them, albeit brief, as we're now obviously where we are now. So that was probably the happiest thing. Very simple pleasures here.
Scarlett, hit us with it.
Well, I moved back in with my family this year with my 93-year-old grandma and my 3 younger brothers. So it's been quite intense. I think the happiest, my grandma is 93, but she tap dances every week in London and is obsessed with tap dancing. So we did tap dancing every morning with me, my mum and her, which was pretty fun. Proudest moment. Oh, that actually happened today. Today, I finished the Sunday New York Times crossword, which I've been building up to all year, and I've never been able to do a Sunday, and I did the whole week this week, which very sadly was definitely my proudest moment of the whole year.
That is extremely impressive.
I don't think I've ever finished a crossword.
I cried at the end of it. I was so proud. I didn't know what to do.
I think those tears are justified and valid.
Yeah, I've been working really hard all year, doing absolutely nothing else, but at least I've done that. And what was the other one?
Well, if you want to answer, and most embarrassing, silly, whatever.
Oh, most embarrassing. I've got a very small bladder, so I basically haven't left the house since March, out of fear of having to pee outside.
It's all related today. That is.
I have peed outside quite a bit this year. I actually did pee outside when we were in the park, Owen. Not with you, me and another person who I won't name, who was there with us, snuck off for a pee, and I peed behind a bush while a guy did walk past while that was happening.
Filming you.
Yeah,
that's what. Those are going to be our war stories, aren't they? When we tell our grandchildren. I fell in the mud at one point trying to jump away from someone on a walk. That was fun.
Oh God! Were they creepy or just violating social distancing?
I was just desperately trying to social distance and jumped in the mud and fell over.
Finally, it has been not the best year ever. I would say it's not. I'd say top 10 years of the century. But what are your hopes for next year, other than the obvious? David.
Hopes for next year. Well, I think it's just what everyone else has kind of said so far, which is just being being able to be around people. As someone who lives on their own, I have spent several months this year basically on my own, which is obviously that's actually my proudest achievement as well. Not going completely mad on my own and sort of revert to talking to the houseplants and stuff, because there were certainly moments where I got a little bit sort of twitchy and thought, okay, I need to sort of speak to friends and do things. So, but hopes for this year, I mean, there's obviously big things like I'd love to go to a different country and go and be in the sunshine and eat different food and do the traveling thing that none of us have been able to do. But then, I mean, I hope what happened this year with, I think, people pulling together and a general kind of more of a thought about people's health. I think we kind of got to a point where people, we've been more conscious about our own health and about how we can be better to ourselves, both mentally and physically. And I think that's something that I've definitely picked up on over the last sort of year or so, because certainly there were times where I could just sort of, not give myself the breaks that I have been now, sort of mentally and emotionally, and just sort of allowing myself times to be down or times to be, anxious and stuff. So, I just hope that continues, and that is something that just continues to sort of flourish and get bigger and better.
Scarlett, finally, leave us on a high.
I've got a high and a low, kind of carrying on from that, and as this is mental health themed live stream, I think there's been a lot more kind of attention paid by the government and the media to mental health just as a result of the pandemic and isolation, and I really hope that continues and sort of translates into funding and resources, because up until now it's definitely not been our top priority. And then personally, I tend, before this pandemic and probably still, I can be quite a socially anxious person, and I've definitely spent more time on my own in the pre-pandemic than was maybe advisable, and I hope that this will have made me so excited to get back out there that it will feel a bit easier.
Guys, absolute heroes. Thank you so much. Happy Christmas.
Thanks for having us.
And yeah, just 2021. I mean, I was going to say
Good.
it could be, but let's hope it isn't. Lots of love. And just so you know, we've raised now 144% of our target, which is very impressive. Plus the super chats, so we're making loads of money. So we're absolutely nailing it. So thanks so much. Happy Christmas, and I'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
And keep pressing the Just Giving link, and also what is it called, Ellie? It's QR, isn't it? QR code.
QR. You did briefly call it the queer code, which I felt was quite appropriate given how many queer icons have graced this live stream with their presence.
Speaking of queers, let's bring them in. So, firstly, Glamrou, in you come, and Larry Dean, the amazing comedian. Two absolute heroes. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Say hello.
Everyone's now thinking that's like a teddy bear because it doesn't look real, but it is actually a dog, just so everyone knows.
It is. I'm very competitive over how I'm a real soccer mum with him. Cutest dog you've ever seen, right?
Yeah. Definitely cutest after my parents' dog. I feel like I've got special.
Larry, how's your Christmas been?
I fine, man. It's my boyfriend's just moved in with us, so I've spent the entire Christmas making up IKEA furniture for storage. So this all behind you was like in the last 15 minutes. I thought I can't be on this and have my flat looking absolute shambles. So that's probably why I look quite frantic at the moment. Going, is everything all right for you guys on that side?
I mean, I didn't know what you were going to say about your boyfriend and what you were doing, but that's great. Glamrou, what have you been? No, it's fine.
He's annoyed at me. I've had to chuck him out of this room. He was watching Will and Grace, and I said, "You're going to have to pause that. I've got a live stream to do."
Yeah, I've got to say, we've got to raise charity. Get out. Amru,
how was my Christmas?
Yeah, you're marooned with your dog. That's not too bad.
Yeah, well, you know him as well. Michael Walker came round and he got his bike stolen on the way to mine, which really set things off on a wonderful track. And then we watched Titanic.
Great. It sounds like it started badly and ended on a high.
We were both saying the whole time, like, why are men not offering to freeze for us? Like, Jack sacrifices his life for Rose. I mean, he puts her on the door. We got really low about it. We were like, no guy we've ever dated has willingly froze to death for us, which is really sad.
But counterpoint to that, I genuinely think she should be prosecuted for manslaughter. And actually, someone did a study into that. There was ample room, she did exactly. She went, "Oh, come on," and then he went, "Oh no, I can't," and then she went, "Okay," and then he froze to death.
Have you ever watched Zizek take down that film?
No, but if he does her in for manslaughter, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, what? Larry, what were your? You can answer any of these. Happiest, proudest, most embarrassing, which have been quite cringeworthy so far. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, people have really gone to town on their embarrassing moments. I thought it would be like, "Oh, I swore in a work Zoom call." No.
People shitting themselves. Yeah, sorry.
I think every single conversation I've had since lockdown has been embarrassing because I'm not used to talking to people anymore. So if someone talks to me in the street, it's almost like having the television talk back to me, and I kind of panic. But probably the one that springs to mind is I spent lockdown by myself. Can you tell? And when I spent it by myself, I was getting all these embarrassing memories, and I started posting them online just because I thought, oh, it's quite funny. But I was posting so many of them and so many cringy memories that were weird that I began to get messages from people going, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I just posted a story about me farting. It's not like a kind of intervention is needed. But some of the ones I remembered during lockdown were quite bizarre. Like I remember the ones that I was on my driving test. I got told to go down this street, and I got told to park up. And me and the instructor stayed there for about a minute. And I said, "Why are we sat here?" And he just looked over at the house that we were next to and went, "That's the house I lost my virginity in," and then just drove off after that.
What a legend.
It's so weird though. It's just some of the, I don't know if you guys got the same thing as me of just these random memories come back to you and you think, how the hell how the hell did I forget about that happening? Like I even remembered last year that I was in a hotel in London that was a very rubbish hotel. It was really cheap, but the walls were so thin that I farted and I heard a person in the room next to me tut.
Aimee, I'm not sure you're going to top that. Just give it a go.
Well, I've got one which was like embarrassing experience and one which was more conceptually embarrassing. The first one was when I actually was with you and my dog kept going up to cyclists and pissing in their helmets that were resting on the grass. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I can't get mad at my dog because like I'm just not giving him a negative experience of the world at all. And everyone was getting mad at me for not shouting at him. But anyway, and then the second one was during BLM when Lawrence Fox tweeted me asking me for a walk because he knew where I lived really randomly. He was like, I know which park you use, very ominous. And he messaged me on Twitter and I thought, you know what? Maybe BLM is waking up his mind and I'm going to cure him of his sort of racist tendencies. And I went on the walk thinking it was going to be a good faith event, and my Twitter DMs for about 2 months afterwards were just like, I brought it on myself. I mean, I cannot believe I thought he was there to like renounce his racism. I think he was there to like pick flaws in anything that I said. It was a nightmare. Do you remember that, Owen?
I do, yeah. I was a bit like at the time when you agreed, I was like, my poor summer child. Yeah, I mean, it was
just the two of you with like no cameras or...
Okay, firstly,
it was an error.
He tweets saying, at Glamrou, I know you use this park. Cue everyone messaging me be going, watch your head in X park. So that was really cute. We brought our dogs, and my dog, who likes every dog, really didn't like his dogs, which was a really nice...
Animal consent's evil.
Yeah, it was just us, and he was telling me that he thought being asked to kneel was a real erasure of Britishness because we only kneel for the aristocracy. So that was embarrassing that I subjected myself to that knowingly. I'm still quite embarrassed. It was a real learning experience for me. I just was like, I'm never going to go for a walk with an out and proud racist again.
No, just avoid going for walks with racists.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you, man. I've had that rule for years.
It was a BLM moment, and I was like, I'm going to cure this man. I was like on WhatsApp, I was like, I'm going to fix it. God, he's not watching right now. Okay, you know what? Let's just abort the conversation.
So other than obviously avoiding going for walks with racists, just good rule, stick by it. What, just to finally leave us on a high, hopes for 2021, apart from very obvious ones? Larry?
Oh, mate. This is a problem with this question. It's difficult to answer this without sounding like a Facebook status. It's been a difficult year. There's been ups and downs. But my hopes, it's going to sound so like not a big deal. I'm hoping that I don't have to look at myself on a screen that much, because the stress of trying to sort out the lighting so that I don't look like a zombie before any Zoom call, because especially when, like, for instance, before I started this one, it was up like this, and I thought, well, that's gonna.
Look like you're telling a ghost story.
Oh my God, that's
I look like Voldemort on a come down, like. Not having to do that would be a really good start to the year. Also, I think loads of people mentioned the vaccine thing, but I did have a hope that it was going to turn out to be like everybody just got sent a vaccine in the mail or whatever like that, and we all went out and celebrated like it was the end of the war. So that would be my dream.
I thought, I had that. I thought it'd be like, there'd be vaccine day and there'd be these queues and people would be like, on Twitter, it'd be the hashtag, I got vaccinated, and then it'd be like music and like the end of a film. That we were both very, very naive and stupid, basically.
No, I know. I thought it was going to be like, when you see like the queues for the X Factor and all that stuff as well. And then everyone would go, oh yeah, this is my story of my COVID journey and all that.
Aimee, leave us with your very special hopes for 2020.
One thing that has really not worked for me on Zoom is drag shows, because I've had to do a few because obviously all the venues have closed, and trying to do a spontaneous, immersive, atmospheric drag show on Zoom, it just doesn't work, because you need people heckling you so that you can read them back really, really quickly, and you need the spontaneity. And so I really hope next year that the queers resurrect like just performance spaces, and because that's really, I think, been the thing that I've missed the most. I mean, I've got in drag and just dressed up for my houseplants, and that's been, you know, empowering. But I can't wait to just be in queer spaces again and have the spontaneity of just, you know, being surprised by what comes out of your mouth because someone heckles you and that kind of stuff, and you know, and orgies as well has obviously been sorely missed. So those two, I suppose.
Here's to lots of orgies in 2021.
I mean, I think that, you know, the upwards graph next year, once the vaccine, will be number of orgies doubling every day.
I mean, me and Amber
doubling every week.
I know. I'm just really nervous that COVID will go and a new STI is going to literally like form a week afterwards.
I did say, thanks for that, Aimee. That's a great way to leave us all on a high. Thinking of everyone being STIs, great.
But like in an iconic way where you can be like, look, I caught it, gonna go get it rid of, you know.
Just go by the rule, Glamrou. Don't fuck any bats. Just don't do that.
Leave the bats alone. That's a departure from your past behaviour, to be fair. Yeah, you are addicted to those bats. So thanks, got to leave with the dog. Guys, really, both of you, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. And we've raised now 146% of our target. So that's very good. And it's still going. And everyone, so keep donating, Just Giving, or use the code in the corner.
Ellie, your hair looks absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. It's at the last acceptable point where I can still have a fringe because it's getting long.
I'm really loving it. I'm loving what you've done.
Thank you.
Look at me and Owen going, oh, where's our compliment?
Yeah, where's my hair's pretty today.
Baubles on your tree.
There's pretty. I think Ellie wins, but I was going to get a haircut, and the day after Tier 4 was announced. So what is this going to look like by?
I love it. It's very Gareth Gates.
Oh, a bit weird, but I'll take it. I'll take that. That's fine. I'll take it.
Doesn't have the kind of islands of hair that Gareth Gates had. Remember, he had like small sort of volcanoes of hair.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know what. Let's not go into what happened to Gareth Gates. We'll let you both go because we're now overrunning and we're being really rude to everybody else. So thanks. Happy Christmas. Really appreciate it.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And last but not least, let's just bring him in because we kept them waiting. That's really rude. The amazing comedian, Ava Vidal, and also the brilliant writer and compañero, Sarkar. Big round of applause. Woo! Hey, happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Oh, wait, there's a little kid on the chat, which means I can't say any of the stuff that I was going to say. I'm going to just come up with like PG-friendly, embarrassing stories.
The little kid's probably got worse language than you. All right, off you go. Go on. Off you go.
Wow, that was it. That was brutal, but effective. How's your Christmases been? How are you, Ava? How's it been?
Ava, but good.
Ava, why did I say
my name already? Within a couple of months. Yeah, I've been all right actually. Just lazy, very, very lazy.
Ash,
she's
me and my boyfriend got stranded on opposite sides of the country because of Tier 4. So I ended up forming a bubble with my mum. And we just got incredibly drunk the whole time. It was great. Because when my mum gets like 2 drinks in, she gets very, very dancey. And so she puts on a lot of like funk. You know that, I think it's a song by Odyssey, which is like, use it up, wear it out. One of her favorites. And then 3 drinks in, all the family secrets and like the dirt and the gossip comes out. So I know whose is whose real father. It's great. Very productive Christmas.
Can you top that? That sounds like a very wholesome Christmas.
What, family secrets and secret paternity?
Yeah, I'd say so. Ava, should we go straight in? 2020 has not been the best year we've ever had. Happiest, proudest, most embarrassing, or all of them, but you can choose.
Oh god. Happiest. Oh god, I don't know. I kind of like staying at home. I do it anyway, so it's not been too bad. I can't lie and say, you know what I mean? And then also when you come from like an immigrant background, me and my friends were trying to figure out why we weren't suffering in lockdown as much as everybody was going on about. And we realized it's just like a flashback to your childhood because your parents never let you do anything anyway. So just like a summer holiday, you know what I mean? You're not allowed to go anywhere, not allowed to see anyone, get your phone calls. It was just like childhood again. So yeah, quarantine made me feel young. What were the other two questions?
So we've got embarrassing. They've been quite scatological so far, I'm not going to lie. So don't feel you have to do that. Just anything embarrassing or just proud, happy, whatever. You've done happy.
My most embarrassing moment in my stand-up, because that's what I do. It's therapeutic. So I do have a whole routine, which I will post about how I was seeing some guy and end up staying at his house and woke up. Don't worry, the kid's gone. And I realized there was someone else's blood in his bed. And then an argument ensued where he was trying to convince me it was mine. It was all very weird. It's in stand-up anyway. I'm over it.
Ash.
There was someone else's. Whose blood was it? Sorry, I need to know.
I didn't want to carry on. Go.
Convince me it was mine. I'll post the video. Seriously.
Oh my God. I once went home with a guy and there was just like a plate with some like dried on noodles like in his bed, and I was like, Uber for one, please.
Well, the good thing is you saw it. I didn't see it till the morning.
Oh no!
So gross. Yeah. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Did you block?
No. I invoiced him for my waste of time.
Correct.
For a tetanus jab, a few other things. Yeah, I was annoyed. Yeah.
Ash, wow, I'm sorry. This has been time after this whole thing because it's been a lot of these sorts of stories, and they've kind of got worse. Ash,
imagine what the next hour would be like.
I know, I'm not believing this.
I mean, my happiest and my most embarrassing moment are the same. Like, it was both my happiest and most embarrassing moment of this year was like, during the summer when it was sort of like there was a bit more freedom and the weather was quite nice and like you could travel a bit and stuff like that. So I decided to, if I see this on Guido tomorrow, I'm going to be really pissed off. I decided to take psychedelics for the first time since I was like 16 or 17 and just could not handle it one bit. Like, I was such a little kiddie. So I started out just by like feeling really mischievous and feeling really like happy and cheeky. And then I realized that like I had to work out how to like go for a pee. And it was just like algebra, maths and geometry that I couldn't work out. Like, I was trying to like go wee in a bush and I just couldn't work out how to like take down my trousers. And then I thought that I could hear squirrels. So then I started freaking out and I was like, oh my God, I need to wee, but I can't do it. And then like sort of made the person I was with like accompany me on this mission to like go find an indoor toilet. So we walked down a canal until we like got to a bar, which was like on the canal. And then because it was a sunny day and everyone was like drinking outside, I just couldn't work out like how to move between the people to get through the door. Like, it was just like a Rubik's Cube that I couldn't solve. And I just remember like nearly crying and sort of going like, why did you bring me to this fortress? And then I realized that even if I worked out how to get through the people, I would not be able to work out like how to get to the bathroom. And so then like we left the bar with the intention of just like going back to the place we were staying so I could, use the loo. And then I bumped into like an old friend who I hadn't seen for about a decade. And between like lockdown, not knowing how to interact with like acquaintances anymore, and also being on a very powerful hallucinogenic, I had like half a normal conversation, started second guessing myself, and then I was like, I'm being really weird. So I just was like, am I being really weird? Like, just very, very close to this poor guy's face. And he was like, no, you're fine, or you were fine till now. And I was like, okay, because full disclosure, I'm really, really high right now. And then danced away because I didn't know how to bring the conversation to a close. I just like boogied until I couldn't see him anymore. So that was both my happiest and most embarrassing moment because I was having a great time, even though everything was very high stakes.
I think that's a moment to cherish. That's a great moment. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Someone in the comments is saying, go on.
Is someone in the comments saying it was him?
No. Someone in the comments is saying that the Bristol stool chart seems very tame now.
Oh yeah, we started with a Bristol. We started with it's a lot of poo, basically, including a winner of the Bake Off talking about having a poo in public.
Shitting in a bush in Peckham Rye. With
2 piles.
Really...
Wait, I've never done an outdoor poop before. I find outdoor, I don't know, like if like Ava's got the same thing as me, because I just kind of feel like generally
back to this. I didn't know that was my fault.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You Caucasians are very free and easy about like where you pee. Like every white friend I've ever had has no problems with peeing outside. But like brown people, I don't think we even have the right sphincters. I don't even know how to do it outside. I get very upset.
I'll tell you how to do it because you were ill. You don't know how to do it. But if you had been on my Vauxhall Tavern show and then come outside and been drinking afterwards, you would have learned how to do it. Vauxhall Park is covered in my pee.
But I can't even when I'm like seriously pissed, I find the thought of having to like go to the toilet outside really upsetting. Like to the point where like I need to like maybe like half a tramadol or something to like relax enough into it.
When you get a little bit older, Ash, it won't be your choice anymore. Pelvic floor muscles start going, you'll be fine.
Pissing everywhere. So just so we
forward to those days.
If we could just end by moving away from piss or anything to do with bodily toilet functions.
Piss periods. That's what this has been.
We didn't actually do piss. Oh, someone did hint at it actually, but we didn't go there. What are both of your hopes for 2021 apart from obvious stuff? Ava.
I would say I hope that I'm doing a lot more live work next year, which I haven't done for quite a while, apart from the thing I've been doing at Vauxhall Tavern this year. I'm hoping that a lot of the queer venues that were around can recover, because I think they've taken the biggest hit in terms of, because they get going later. So the 10 p.m. curfew really hit them really hard. Yeah, I hope that there's so much culture that I think is being lost, and I think the arts have not been taken care of, or artists in the way that they have. I thought it was really, really rude of the government to put, a ballet dancer and say she's retraining, she just doesn't know it yet. I just wish that art would be more appreciated, because at the end of the day, that's what everyone is watching to get themselves through all of this. But especially queer venues, because I just love a gay bar.
Love a gay bar. I'm going to be when they reopen. I'm going to be a disgrace. Put it out there. Ash, what are your hopes?
I feel really bad now because, Ava's one was just like a really considered celebration of the arts and the importance of art to all of our lives. Whereas all I could think was like, I miss disgracing myself in the rave. Like that's what I miss, because it wasn't just coronavirus, like the kind of year before that with the whole general election, I just sort of didn't really go out that much. Like I was kind of like an early to bed, early to rise kind of person. I was like, yeah, 2020 is like when I get back on it, I'm just going to be out there making a fool of myself. Let's go for it. And then obviously pandemic. And the things that I miss aren't just like the moments of euphoria, because obviously I miss all those moments of euphoria where you're like on the dance floor and you're with your friends and it's great. I also miss getting completely inexplicably upset in the girls' toilets. When you have that little emergency cry, you don't really know why. And as you feel wronged or slighted in some way. I miss having that really dumb toilet cry. I miss getting into fights. I haven't been in a fight for such a long time. There's me and my best friend who used to always get into fights, and it was so stupid. It was the dumbest thing. We once got in a fight with a guy on Valentine's Day. He got in a fight with someone on Valentine's Day. I can't really remember what was going on. I'd only gone with him to this night to flirt with the drummer in this jazz band, and then next thing I know, my best friend was in a headlock, and we got thrown out of this bar. And the exact words of the bouncer were, "You are never welcome here again." And afterwards, we were sort of bruised and sort of drunk and stumbling back home. And we were like, that is the best night ever. That is the best way to end a night. That's just real moronic stuff is what I want to do. I don't want to have to think through any decisions in 2021.
Here's to crying in club toilets and getting into fights and getting banned from bars.
I'm all for that.
What an honour, Lucy. Thank you so much, both of you. It's been a massive honour. My camera, you might know, it's just shifted because my cat attacked the camera in the middle of that very moving speech, I would say, and it nearly toppled. So I managed to get through it nearly with that. But seriously, guys, thank you so much. Happy Christmas.
I can't wait to cry with you in a girl's toilets, Owen.
Oh, I'll be crying in that toilet. I'm like, oh God, stolen the show. Here, the little. Oh, hello.
Hi, Mimi.
Yeah, I will be thinking uncontrollably. That will be.
Hi, Mimi. Sorry,
Hello.
Owen. Like we're not interested in you anymore. We're interested in Mimi.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
Oh, I've just died of cute. If you've seen that and you haven't donated yet, you have no soul. So donate now. We're all the way over target, but you've got to. Having seen that, that is.
Oh wait, Mimi, can you say give us all your money?
Say give us all your money. Why are you pretending to be shy?
Mimi's like, you know what? I've got my dignity. And I will not stoop to this level.
I will not be robbed of it. Well, look, I know Ash has got to be reunited with your beloved, so I'll.
I know he's getting an early train back, and I don't know emotionally how to sort of deal with like a lovely emotional reunion, so I've poured it all into cooking. So there's loads of stuff in the oven.
Nice. So
Yeah.
the Ash's cooking is literally being featured on Nigella Lawson's TV show. That's.
Do you know what? Do you know what makes me really happy about that? Is because early on in the relationship, I asked my boyfriend, "Am I the best cook you ever dated?" And he said maybe. And then he started talking about how his ex was like, you know, Iranian, and so made all beautiful Persian food. And I pretended to be cool with it, but was fuming inside. And then as soon as the Nigella thing happened, I was like, officially, I'm the best cook you've ever dated now. And he's like, is this your takeaway from like an otherwise lovely moment? Just you being like weirdly competitive with someone who I'd dated 5 years ago. And I was like, yes.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and 5 to admit it.
Yeah, I think so. That's what it's like dating an Aries. It's like all stupidly competitive. Everything is a competition.
Yeah.
We want to win it.
Well, go and smash it. Go and smash that cooking. Lots of love, both of you. Thanks for
Can I
having
just say also, Owen, like everyone does know I lost a child to suicide, and this charity is really, really important. So I wanted to come today. And I had 2 friends who lost their brothers to suicide this year as well. And just the heartache that it costs, that it causes, it just doesn't ever leave you in a pull-up, get down. Sorry. So I don't want a child singer, but yeah, the pain that it causes. And when that happened to me, I just remember somebody had said suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So if you are feeling down or something, like it will pass. You can get through it. So please give us all your money, since my child wouldn't say it, and donate to this really, really, really good cause. It's really important to a lot of people. Thank you.
that was beautiful, and love and solidarity. And I can't say how much I appreciate you being here, and you've helped just by being here raise loads of money for Calm to help support people in the most awful circumstances. So all my love, Avan, all my love, Ash, as well. That was really good. And loads of donations coming in off the back of that. Ellie, we've got to round up. That was amazing. Bless. That was really, really special. Ellie, we've got to think, because we've got you in terms of your so I was really moved by that. That was really, really special from Ava. And I hope people do donate just by listening to that, because that just shows why this is important. Ellie, in terms of your happiest moment, where you can just tell, because it's in the Guardian, it's literally in the Guardian yesterday.
Yes, it's true. I got a cat. That is my happiest moment. No. Yes, I got married. Well, I got civil partnered, but I feel like British people are not very good at sort of. Everybody keeps calling us husband and wife and saying we got married. I feel like British people are not used to civil partnerships, particularly in the sort of heterosexual couples. I feel like that is too much for the British mind to comprehend. But yeah, it was in the Guardian. Yeah, we met somebody last year when we were in Australia together. We met a guy who was in Australian politics, and his friend, who is now my husband, and we embarked on quite a sort of ill-advised, perhaps, long-distance relationship. We'd only been together on 3 occasions when Australia closed the borders, and we were like, oh fuck. And we'd had all these conversations like, oh, you will move to London, because he had always wanted to move to Europe, but we're going to live separately, and we'll date, and we'll take it slowly. And then as soon as that happened, we were just like, fuck it, let's just let's just get married. And then we did. And we didn't have any ceremony. We just like got an email notification. We've got a certificate that looks like it could be very easily faked, which worries me.
Did you fake the certificate?
Yeah, we did. We were just like, oh, let's just print one out. Yeah. Because then you save like $200 Australian as well.
Well, I was the witness as well. I had to do an email to say that you weren't basically doing some scampy little pretend pseudo marriage.
Yeah, well, hang on. Let me just turn my computer on, my charger on. No, you weren't actually the witness to getting
was it?
You were the witness to we asked you to write to the Australian government because they were like, we'll let him out of the country, but we want to make sure that you're not just faking this relationship so we can get out of the country. So we asked you to write a letter to the Australian government, which you very kindly did, confirming that you had you'd been there on the night that we met and that you'd also met up with us when he came to London.
And why would I lie to the Australian government? I didn't lie. If you're watching, if the Australian government is watching, it's valid.
It's definitely valid. We've got a cat. And as Theresa May pointed out many years ago, if you've got a cat, then basically you're allowed to stay in the country.
Yeah, so, that's the one thing that keeps, including wanton criminals like Ellie. They are honestly, they're like the best couple ever. They're very sweet couple. So.
I think she's hiding in the bedroom at the moment. He has been in this room, but every time the camera sort of zoomed in on a guest so you couldn't see me, he'd run past. So that that was the best thing that happened to me this year. It's been really good because I think for a lot of people there's a sense of having a year that's been lost and frozen in time, whereas I feel it's always going to be the year for me that I got married, and I feel like it's sort of because there's been big life changes for me. I feel like it's not been a total write-off, and I feel really lucky for that, really. That's been a real blessing.
We've smashed $3,000 on the fundraiser, plus the money people have sent in for YouTube. People are putting, people now are putting loads of money. It's really going up. So keep donating because
it's when you apply for a job and then suddenly there's 300 applications on the last day.
It's all right, everyone.
Yeah. No, tax return.
Either use the code on your just put your camera like this, or use the Just Giving link. Ellie, it's been a massive honor, you superstar. So now we can get drunk. Oh, you're not getting drunk. I'm getting drunk.
I'm not getting drunk. I was drinking coffee before we started.
Oh,
but no. I want to, for a very wholesome reason, which is I want to go for a run after this. Which is normally
go for a run and then get smashed.
Yeah, no, it's normally wholesome to go for a run, but this time of year it's just to sort of counterbalance the enormous gluttony. It's
just we're shoving down our faces.
Just anything. My body's just just do something. Just anything.
Right, I'm going to let you go for a run. I'm going to go for a run as well. Keep donating, everyone. Go to the Just Giving page. Use that code there. Thank you so much. I'm pretty exhausted. That was quite exhausting. We've been going for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we crammed the year's socialising into the last 2 hours.
I know, that is basically doubled my socialising this year. But lots of love. I will speak to you in a bit, Ellie.
See you soon. Yeah, we'll probably later on.
Yeah, just actually probably give you a call after this, say thanks. But cheers for that. Lots of love, and to Socrates the cat.
I don't know where he is. Yeah.
He's bored of you. But kicked Ellie off. Harsh. Well, I'll leave as well. Lots of love, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Keep donating to Just Giving, and I will see you soon.